Big up. Big up if you're popping up with Jacob tonight. I'm just gonna get straight into it. Man, what a day yesterday was. I don't know if y'all remember, but Arsenal came into the house, grabbed both of our booty cheeks, and did what they wanted with them. Apologies for anyone who witnessed that, but you know what? I witnessed it. Y'all witnessed it. Let's get right into it. Let's just bring them in. We got the beautiful, freshly shaved Colin.
Yeah, I know, it's weird. I feel really weird without the beard, man. But I'm glad to be here. So
you look good. I see your full jawline, so that's a positive. The one downside of this next guest, Kieran, is we're not going to see his beautiful jawline. But
yeah, where's your jawline, Kieran?
Oh, you can look at Dejan Kulusevski's instead. His is nicer than mine anyway.
I mean, yeah. That's a whole other stream.
Speaking of whole other streams, I'm glad you're here with me on this stream, Colin, Kieran, and everyone in the chat. I see a couple people already. What's up, Full Bull, Jacob? What a stinky situation we are at the moment. Stinky indeed, my friend. Not the good kind of stinky either. Happy motherfucking Monday, Jacob. Happy motherfucking Monday to you, Ryman son. Big ups. Thanks you for being here, Ron. How you doing, Ron? What a day. I knew it was to happen. I did too. That's what I was kind of talking with the boys before the show.
I didn't expect.
You did not. Well, let's get right into it. Yeah, it's actually the first time that they've beaten us at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium too. So yeah, that's fun. That's fun.
It's all pretty shitty. I really thought we were gonna win, man. I thought that I thought Bentancur was gonna be back. That's a big thing that I was expecting before that match. And the week leading up, they sort of kept like implying that Bentancur was probably going to play. And I think with him in midfield, it's a different game. I don't know. I really expected us to do things. I knew that Decky was supposed to be back. We were playing at home. We had our crowd there. We needed the win. I don't know. I really thought I put money on it. I put money on Spurs, foolishly. Like that's how much I believe, man. But
I heard there were Spurs fans putting like $1,000 on Arsenal to win because if they didn't, then they get to celebrate that they won the North London Derby, beat the league leaders.
The money might make you feel better about it. Yeah, I guess. But
that's actually a good tactic.
Honestly, I wasn't expecting a win. I was expecting a draw. I thought it'd be hard fought, but honestly, Arsenal were not as good as I expected them to be. The first goal is an absolute horror from Lloris. He should be
horror or horror.
A horror. It was horror. A horror. It was terrible. It was.
No, I'm just.
Yeah, kidding. I mean, a howler. It was really bad. Yeah. And I think he honestly I think he should be dropped. It's too many errors.
Fraser Forster.
I don't, and I'm not saying that I think Forster's a better keeper, but like Lloris just needs to sit out a couple games just to get his head right because he's made so many mistakes this season, and he is leading the Premier League in goals, errors leading to goals. It's really bad. So I think Lloris needs to sit out a couple games at least, get his head right, whatever he needs to do. But I think we need to pull him. Pierre-Emile Højbjerg was pretty poor for most of the game. Really disappointed with his performance, as I was in the Aston Villa game as well. Ryan Sessegnon, crap, absolute crap. He's awful. Get rid. Destiny Udogie is going to come in here and take his job anyway. He's a much better player.
He's going to come in here with no Conte and no one playing the wingback system, which is what his strong suit is. I'm really afraid for Destiny Udogie's future, if I'm honest.
I think he can play as a left back and a forward too, as long as he's allowed to get forward. I think he's just a really good all-around player. I think he'll do absolutely fine for us. And he's much better than Ryan Sessegnon. Get rid of Ryan Sessegnon as soon as possible. He's terrible.
I agree with that 1,000%. Before we go,
he
Kieran,
has totally
I
lost
can tell that you're
confidence.
ready to go. You're rearing. You're ready to go. I'm ready to go. But also, I want to take the taffy that is your frustration and anger, and I want to stretch it out. So I'm going to take this moment to say thank you to the patrons of the channel. Soggy Undies Club. Alan Sibley, big ups. I know you're probably not here right now. It's like 4 something in the morning for you, but big ups. We got the 10-inch club, Goguma, Leo COYS with Mile High Hotspur, and C. Shearman. Big up yourselves, you 3 in the 10-inch club. Official supporters, Scott M. There's his comment. He's here in the house. Official supporters checking in. James George, J. Coe, David, Aaron Dub, Jamie, and Jack Kanicki. Lovers Lane, we got Bobby K, Gina Kim, Tom Markin, and Colin, and C Cubed. If you want to be a patron of the channel, the link's there down below. It's in the description of this video. Click that link. Choose your tier, your club.
Kieran, when are you going to become a member? Because you have to be.
Oh, that's true. I keep forgetting.
Technically, he's a contributor to the channel. So
I wasn't letting me on.
I think you just lagged there, my friend. Unless.
Oh, sorry. Let me.
Also, big up on Twitch. We got Frightful. Hit me in the DMs. Why you hitting this? You should say hello. I mean, they did say hi actually. They're offering me some kind of bots on Twitch, but what's up, that Vestal? How you doing? Full bull. Lloris needs to retire. Been catching DUIs off and on the pitch these days.
Seriously.
Paul Beatty, big up yourself. It was indeed a fisting. It was indeed, my friend.
Yeah.
Not the greatest match that I've ever seen, or been rooting for my team. Get that result.
To be honest, it felt really bad, and for a lot of the first half, it was really bad. But we'll talk about it more. But I really don't think they dominated the game completely. So.
It's interesting because I guess I'm just at a point where the full-time whistle has gone, and now I'm just like, I just feel dominated. We may have had blips of 10, 15 minutes of some good stuff. I will pull up the lineup and we'll talk about players individually. We can look at their SofaScore ratings, give our own. Colin, help me think of something other than SofaScore. I was thinking of something, a play on words there. We'll come up with our own ratings later on in the show.
We'll get it.
And this is when I really want you to dive in, Kieran, and just let me know. Because Ryan Sessegnong's numbers, or his rating on SofaScore, is higher than Matt Doherty's.
Yeah, I thought Doherty was poor too. I mean, but he's always good. So,
I wouldn't contest that too much. That's not that bad of a take. I could see it.
Yeah, you're right about that. That Vestal Cowboys got the dub. They actually did to Tampa Bay what Arsenal did to Tottenham. That's just a little NFL tonight, what you've seen the Cowboys do to the Buccaneers, that's what Arsenal did to Tottenham at our own home, just like Cowboys did. They went to Tampa Bay and took care of it.
Yeah, so. I'm actually a Jacksonville Jaguars fan, so I was really happy Saturday night. And I feel like I paid for it with Tottenham because Saturday night was crazy and I was so happy.
You had
and then Sunday morning, I'm waking up with a big old smile on my face because the Jags are through to the next round, and I get ready for the North London derby, and then just absolute misery unfolds. So
yeah, no joke. Full Bull asks a very solid question, and I'll start with you, Colin. Would you guys be all right with losing to City twice so that they can catch up to the Arsenal and hopefully a Manchester can win the league?
Never. You go out. We try to win every match for sure. I mean, and City still never scored at our ground, or did they finally do that? That was a thing forever. We like a fortress. I don't know.
Well, we're the Harry Kane team. That's Pep's fault. He dubbed us the Harry Kane team, and now Heung and Daddy. Actually, that's another topic that we'll get into later.
But no, never. Football, never, bro.
I mean, I wouldn't be all right with it, but I think it's likely going to happen anyway. So,
why do you guys? Do you not remember how? Just because it's just football is it's been happening for a long time.
I can explain to you why. Normally, under any normal circumstances, I would agree with you, and I say we got the voodoo over City. We can beat them. We can do it because we always play better against them. But the problem is the way we beat City is by playing a 6-4-0 and putting 11 men behind the ball and counterattacking, and we literally cannot defend. We can't do it. Our defense is terrible. they will score, and especially with Haaland now, they have a real big striker, a big target man, poacher type striker. Like, yeah, no, we can't use our normal game plan against them. We can't beat them the way we usually do.
I forgot
You're
about
not
that.
looking forward to Haaland versus Dyer? Are you looking forward to that or no?
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
I feel like it's like looking forward to like your house getting raided by the FBI. Like, you know, they're on the way. You're just like, all right then, and they're coming. And I think Haaland's gonna make a mess and a mockery of Eric Dyer both times we play him. The man hasn't scored in 4 matches, so if you think he wants a fucking goal, he does. And you know how he likes to score multis. I wouldn't be surprised if he puts a hat trick on
Dr. Tottenham. Yeah.
Shut up. He's not getting a fucking hat trick. Dude, you guys,
Paging
we're going to beat City. I'll put money on it.
Don't be wasting your money, bro. Put money that City will win so you could do what we just talked about.
I ain't about that life, dude. It feels wrong to bet against.
I can't bet against Spurs either. I just can't do it.
Scott M's message has come in 100% yes. Would be fine with it if it means it would.
So wait, you would be fine with it because
nothing this year, 6th, 7th, 8th, all equally disappointing finishes.
So you would rather watch 2 losses than 2 wins? Take everything else out of it. You're saying you would rather watch 2 losses than 2 wins? Interesting. I know that no one wants City to win the title, or not City, but Arsenal to win the title. But like, what? I mean, fucking.
They're not. I agree with Colin. I don't think they're gonna win anyway. I don't care if they're 8 points ahead.
We're not even halfway through the season.
Look at their last 2 months of games. Like, they're going to have the hardest run in. They do statistically have the hardest run in of any team in the league. I really think sometime around late February, March, they're going to start to come apart at the seams. They're going to pick up a couple injuries, and they're going to have a hard time. I don't think they have the squad to win the league. I think City will find their footing, and I think they'll win it.
I think the experience is going to come into play in this, and I do agree. I think if you look at the squad that Manchester United has, they're pretty deep. They're not a pushover squad. I think that they have a legitimate chance to contend for the title as well. I think really the top 4 at this moment are the 4 that are in the race for the title right now.
I agree.
That's just what I think. I know we're not halfway through the season, but I don't see us. The gap is just getting larger and larger. Sunday doesn't help.
And if you look at Newcastle, I mean, they would have to start winning some more games, but I really think they're going to get top 4 because they just don't lose. They've only lost 1 game. They have like 8 draws. They refuse to lose. So, they have a really solid defense. I think Newcastle, I don't see how we can get above them this season.
We really missed out. Did Newcastle, were they the ones that grabbed that Joachim guy? What's his name? I don't know. There's a defender that we were after.
They picked up Sven Botman.
That was one
player that we really wanted.
Yeah. We had been looking
Anderson, you're thinking of Joachim Anderson. He went to Palace.
Oh, okay. I think he's a solid defender also, but
yeah, he's really good.
He is. Scott M is agreeing with what I said as far as the FBI raid.
I just don't get the logic in that. The question was, would you take? Like, would you? I guess it works. Would you take the loss? And we're gonna lose whether you want it or not. So you want it. I don't know. It still doesn't.
No. The question is like, if you didn't know what the result was going to be and you were given the results right now, like if you could just jump ahead in time and we lose both games, would you take that? And I'm saying no. Even though I think that we are going to lose, I would rather take the chance that we might, nick at least a point from one of the games.
Yeah, definitely. I'm right.
I could see us getting the draw at home.
We might be able to nick a point at home. Yeah,
I could see that.
A nice 0-0 draw.
Big up, Tiago is in the house. Says nothing like starting the week dreading another Tottenham defeat. Am I right?
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm dreading it. I guess dreading is a good word, but I do feel like it's something that. Watch, I honestly think it would be very Tottenham of us to go out there and take 6 points from City
Yeah.
and then
I mean, we're not. It's crazy because we're
help
just
Arsenal
wildly
in that.
inconsistent. We're not absolutely shit. We're just wildly
No, it's
inconsistent.
just our defense that is. Our defense is absolutely shit.
Right, but the rest of our problem is just, you know what I mean? It's just
Our attacking players are really good.
Shane.
They're
when
the
we
best
let
in
them
the
when we
league.
let them when we let
Big
them
up.
attack.
When we get them the ball.
Big up to
Yeah, they're
Shane.
getting. We've got a big problem, and I really hate that. I guess we can talk more about this too. But I guess now's the time. Why didn't we get a more creative midfielder? It's clear that we need one.
I mean, I bet they're all creative, but like in the sense of maybe like artistry, like they're probably good at painting, making music.
Eric Dyer's a good
photography.
gardener. I bet his shit looks good. But no, I just want somebody that can.
Why didn't we get Ruslan Malinovsky? He's a cheap.
Why
deal.
didn't we
He's
get
a
fucking
creative
James
attacking
Madison? We
player.
could have had James Madison, but we said no. James Madison could play in it too if you put him next to Højbjerg, I think.
I don't. I think the creative player has to play
Wide.
Has to play wide. And
Well,
it's
then,
not
sadly,
like
listen, that's not Sonny then. You know what I mean? Sonny's not a creative player. Love the dude, but he's not creative. So
That's
then it
exactly
all
what I
falls
was
to
saying.
Kulu.
That's exactly what I was saying, Shane. Dr. Tottenham, we're going to beat City twice, lose to Fulham, help Arsenal in their race for the top. Scott M says, if you told I get to pick, I choose 2 losses, so City has a better chance to win title this season. Means nothing for us. We are doing nothing, building nothing. I don't care anymore.
Okay.
I mean,
I get what you're saying. It makes more
realistically,
sense. You explained it better. I appreciate it.
Yeah, realistically, I
There's the link.
think it's hard
It's
for
pinned
us
at the
to
top.
get
Anyone want to come in here and vent, have a little therapy session, come on in, have your say. Give me them City tears.
Hey, Fitzy, I said one of the best, not the best. And if you look at the stats, we've scored a lot of goals. The problem is we concede a lot of goals. We still have a good attack. We score goals. We just can't fucking defend. That's the problem. Our defense is shit. Our center backs, our wing backs, they're shit.
Why is it? I can't explain. Like, I feel like they're worse than the sum of their parts. There's a problem. I feel like they play worse than their quality.
They have no confidence. They all make individual mistakes. They have no confidence. They don't play as a unit. They're all thinking about themselves. They're all probably terrified for their jobs. They all know that they're under threat, and and they all know that the fans think they're all shit and are
so how the fuck do we fix it?
Get them out. Get new players in. That's how you fix it. You sell them and buy new players.
You don't think you could I think that I guess the team thinks that
fuck out. Emerson Royale needs to get the fuck out. Ryan Sessegnon needs to get the fuck out. They're shit players.
It sucks though because to be realistic, you know what sucks is to be realistic though. Those players aren't all going to leave, not in one fucking window, that's for sure.
Well,
and so
they could,
we're stuck, but they won't. The thing is, I don't like to live in the world of coulds because like all kinds of stuff could happen.
They won't.
Yeah, so we're stuck with.
But we could at least hopefully sign, one center back now and another in the summer. That's not unrealistic. No. But we're not going to do that, are we? No.
No, we're going to
get a
midfielder or an attacking player.
You know what midfielder I would actually like? I was gonna try and do like a segment of like Jacob scouted players, something like that.
Sounds real gay.
It sounds like.
Just kidding.
What's wrong with that?
Nothing. I forgot.
Exactly.
I'm from a really backwards ass place. I was raised badly.
That's okay.
You're
never too old to learn and grow and become a better person.
Yeah.
Like John Fitzpatrick, he says our midfield get ran over week in, week out. We don't have a back line. It's a joke. This is a problem with the midfield. It doesn't matter if you bring in Bissouma, who's an all-star with Brighton. It doesn't matter if we got Bentancur, the magician himself. If you don't trust those players behind you, and then those players don't trust the man in net behind them, you're really going to have a big problem in the team chemistry in the locker room. I think there's a lot of problems just based on ineptitude in a lot of different key areas on the pitch. That's what I think. And I think that doesn't help. It doesn't matter if you're Papa Sarr, if you're fucking Højbjerg. Højbjerg's look like shit, and that's actually something I wanted to dive right into with y'all.
I just wanted to say real quick on the midfield too.
Yeah.
This is part of the. Yes, the midfield is sometimes going to get overrun, and when you play a 3-4-3, this is like, or 3-4-2-1, whatever. This is like something that you're accepting. You're accepting that occasionally your midfield will be overrun, and that's why you have the 3 center backs there, and you expect them to have the quality between the 3 of them to be able to deal with it. And you have the wing backs supporting in the wide areas. They can also push in and support defensively in midfield. You expect the center backs to be able to handle the danger. The problem is they can't. They're not good enough. And the wing backs are no help to them defensively because they're not
someone who
enough.
may be of help to us in this current moment. We have, I believe this is the debut. So I'm going to do the intro, Colin. Paul, I hope you're ready because it's coming straight for you, buddy. Let's welcome him. With Paul. What's up, Paul?
Hey man, how you going?
Good. How you doing, buddy? Big ups. Thank you for the debut. Thank you for joining. How you feeling?
Oh, isn't it great to be a Spurs fan, eh?
It's good. It doesn't ever hurt.
No.
Right.
Living the dream.
This is exactly what I want out of. I want to lose against our rivals. Like, it's,
At home,
I've always been
2-0.
looking for. Yeah.
Oh, they did us so hard as well. It was just I don't know. I kind of like we were so bad in the first half that by the second half I was just sitting there with like a resigned half smile on my face and just given up. Because I think Arsenal sat back a bit. It made us look better, but I think we were still shit.
Yeah.
Didn't want to play.
I mean, okay, but then on another day, I know that we can't rely on we can't be that team that finishes every single chance, and so we've got to create more. But in the first half, and I'm just being devil's advocate here. First half, Kane had that header. Wasn't it a header? I don't know. Kane had a chance first half.
Son had a chance too.
Right, and then in the second half, there was at least another chance. I'm just saying, like, Sessegnon had a chance in the second half. I thought he should have buried.
Yep.
And I mean, on another day, on another day, I don't know. I think it was bad, but it was a typical Conte performance. So what's the difference? You get overrun in midfield, right? Your back line scrambling, you get scored on, then you push really, really hard at the end and scored 1 or 2 goals, right? Except for yesterday, we couldn't score any goals at the end.
Yeah.
Well, I think it comes down to the players though, because like if you've got your wing backs operating as proper wing backs, then your midfield doesn't get overrun because you got 4 there. But the problem is our centre backs are so crap, and our wing backs are crap as well. Like our whole back line is just useless. So how can you expect anyone like you were saying just before I came on? You got your midfield looking behind you, and you got Eric fucking Dyer and Captain Flappy Hands,
With that big dumb look on his face.
Yeah, and then he'll blame everyone else, and you think, well, how do you expect these players to be creative or express themselves when they're always having to look over their shoulders and nanny this lot? It's atrocious.
And why do you think Lloris is having panic attacks and making howlers left and right?
Oh my god! And yelling at
how
people.
can you not be nervous playing around these guys?
Like in the first 6 minutes, I thought we were all right. Like we did with this one move, and I thought, fucking hell, this is all right. Until it got to Sessegnon, and he just sort of, passed it to an Arsenal player. But I thought, it was all right. But as soon as Lloris made that first, like, what was he trying to do, kicking the ball or something?
Big up Dave Hotspur.
The whole confidence just went out the whole bloody team after that.
Yep.
I wanted to say real quick before we move any further as well, the word of the night for the panel as well as the chat is cohort. And if you're unaware with what cohort means, if you use it as a noun, it stands for a group of people with a shared characteristic. An example, a cohort of civil servants patiently drafting legislation. If you use cohort as a verb, divide people into groups with a shared characteristic. In the plan, elementary students will be cohorted or placed in an assigned class. So that is the word of the evening. And before we go any further, let me also
We got
welcome
one of my
in-
cohorts. One of my cohorts is coming on the show.
We have a
Yay!
cohort as we speak. Shane B
Hello,
from
beautiful
Down
people.
Under.
Hey Shane, long time.
What's
no
up, my
talk,
guy?
man.
What is
Yeah.
going on?
Just doing some housework.
Fun,
This is a
dude.
good way to
What-
get away
what
from
ti-
some of that.
What time you got over there?
About 2:30. Yeah,
Cool.
2:30.
The world's a crazy place. It's a crazy place.
You know, I found a live stream actually of like NASA's satellite image looking at Earth, so you can watch Earth in full 4K. It's kind of cool. YouTube's a crazy place.
Man.
So the word of the night, Shane, is cohort. And then there's a few things I want to talk to you about. Scott M with the first points on the board says our core. I can't even say it. Our cohort of defenders are dog shit.
That is hard to say. Our cohort.
Our
Our
cohort.
Our
We need
cohort.
everyone in the panel to say our cohort.
Our cohort. Oh, now you got me going. Our cohorts.
There you go. That was
There you
good.
go. That was good.
You've
Paul,
got
what
to
you
add. There's got to be an S on the end. It's our cohort is singular, so it should be our cohorts.
Mm-hmm.
Very good point. Very good point.
Our
My
defenders.
English. My English.
Yeah, I'm more used to hearing cohort as in when it's used in a bit of a seedy or like negative use, like like Moriarty and his cohorts. Not like a cohort of civil servants.
Yeah.
I mean,
I would say
apparently it has a
cohort of
non-negative
Spurs
connotation.
Yeah, no, it's a cohort of our defenders for sure. They're a cohort. Yeah.
Yeah, they're
Seeding
cohort.
characters.
Yeah,
Our
ne'er do wells.
I'm loving the positivity from Scott.
He's always got it.
always-
doesn't
Oh my
he?
God,
always
Scott.
positivity.
I have no idea what keeps him going. Man, I think he lives off of pure just worst case scenario all the time. That's good though. If you always prepare for the worst,
No, Scott, we're gonna thump Man City, mate. We're gonna thump them.
Spurs aren't shit. We are just wildly inconsistent.
No, it's just about half the team that's shit. The other half is all right.
Yeah, you replace about 5
Yeah.
of them. We'll
And,
be all
and you know
right.
what? And sometimes we win
And
in spite of, and sometimes we win in spite of
the
the
bench
shitty
is
ones.
also pretty poor. So
Replace
it's,
5
it's,
of those
it's
on the
really
bench.
more like 2/3 of the team.
So we need about 10 players, and then we can actually be a cohort of really good individuals.
I still think I don't know, guys. So
Cohort
remember
of
how much
football playing
Remember how much
bastards.
everybody wanted Danny Rose gone and talked shit about Danny Rose? I have a feeling we've run ourselves into the same situation with Sessegnon if we lose him.
That is ridiculous, Colin.
What?
Sessegnon has never, ever in his career, ever been close to Danny Rose at his peak. Never,
No, not
ever.
his peak. But remember Danny Rose at Sunderland whenever he was a Spurs player on loan at Sunderland and every single person thought he was shit. They were so mad when he got a contract extension, and then he ended up.
But eventually he played for Spurs and was good. But
Yeah.
Ryan Sessegnon has played a lot for Spurs and has never been good.
Danny
He's
Rose
had
played for
his
Spurs
chances.
before he was good.
Colin, we already bought his replacement. He's had his chances.
I think he's going to
Time
be
to go.
no. It's going to be a rotation of the two.
Look at that. Look at that.
Well,
Top
you know-
shelf individual moving on up to the top row. Welcome to the top row, my friend.
Welcome.
I do want to
Right,
say,
Zachary.
very good to see you. Hope you're doing well. The question I want to ask everyone, we were talking about the midfield there a little bit. This is someone that I've actually big upped a lot. And what were you going to say, Shane?
As I put in the comments, Kamada from
Daichi,
Eintracht
yeah.
Daichi
From Frankfurt.
Kamada from Frankfurt is in his last 6 months of his contract,
He's
and
a good player.
he is a true central midfielder, true number 8. He's a box-to-box midfielder. He would be
And you can put him on the right or the left.
Yep. He's
do.
like Sonny. He's like Sonny. He can play. He's equally strong with his left as well as his right.
I accidentally said something in the chat. I was real quick. I just have to address. I was talking to Fitzpatrick, John Fitzpatrick, my man, and I said, you do remember when Danny Rose was kind of shit though, right? But all right, back. I just didn't want everyone to think that was Jacob. I accidentally stole his chat.
My brother.
Thank you for clearing that up.
And we're back.
My question I want to ask everyone is, this is a player that I've defended. Tonight I'm going to talk a lot about players that I've defended that, quite frankly, I don't know how much more I can defend. The question I want to ask, where is Pierre? Where is the Pierre that we know? Where is the Pierre that took control of our midfield, that did the dirty work, that cleaned up well? Where is he at? Because I think this version of Pierre that's come back since the World Cup, there's something going on there. There's got to be something going on there, because mentally, that's going to affect you. You were supposed to make it out this group. You were supposed to make a decent run this World Cup as a country. You were voted the nation's #1 footballer.
Hey, come on, the Aussies. Aussies put them out. Hey, come on.
So you guys broke Pierre.
Be real. Us Aussie underdogs got through, and Denmark didn't. So
I mean, that
Højbjerg
was amazing. I think I remember just texting you, Shane, when it happened, and I was like,
"Oh yeah, we had a long chat.
We had a nice chat about that. Big ups Australia for that. That was amazing.
And football is like the 5th biggest sport in that country, like 5th or 6th as well. That's pretty sad.
Where's Pierre? Anyone got an answer?
I reckon he's missing Benny so much. When Bentancur plays, his level goes up to Bentancur's level, or close to Bentancur. Bentancur is an absolute baller, and put him beside Pierre. You know, Pierre's just gone back to his Southampton days because he hasn't got that solid partner beside him.
But he was our best midfielder before Bentancur showed up and started playing with him. He was our best midfielder before that. So I'm wondering, where's he at?
Can I say? Can I be controversial? He was never really that good. I mean, he was good, but we were like, I think we were just looking for something, and he filled the gap. He did a good job, but he was never that good of a player, if that makes sense. And
yeah, I agree.
He played well, you know what I mean, and worked well in the system and did a role. You know, was like a role player. But I don't think, like his first touch, like terrible. You know what I mean? Like he's just not always, I guess, but he's got a heavy first touch sometimes.
I just see, Colin. I really don't get this. I don't understand how you can criticize Pierre-Emile Højbjerg like this.
I'm not criticizing.
And then back Ryan Sessegnon. It's just like, dude, what are you?
Sessegnon has shown that he's.
Kieran, what about his confidence? His confidence is going to grow.
Single-handedly won us the group in the Champions League.
I don't
put the team on his back. I'm
just saying that he's a role player and that he's not. So a lot of players are like good, like just footballers, and I don't think he's a good footballer 100%. Like, I don't know if that makes sense. He's good at he's a great athlete. He's a great athlete and a role player.
He doesn't have techers and pace, so you don't think he's that good because he doesn't have techers and pace. That's what it is. That's what you're saying. You're saying you like Ryan Sessegnon because he's fast and he can do a little dribbling, but Pierre-Emile Højbjerg is bad because he's
totally
slow.
It's totally different roles. For one, we're comparing apples and oranges, and I'm not trying to do that. Let's compare Pierre-Emile Højbjerg to other midfielders. Like, I just think that
he's a holding mid. He's a 6, and he's a good 6.
He's not quite. He's a hybrid 6 and 8, and I don't feel like he's good enough at either.
I think he's just.
Well, in this system,
he's a good 6.
In this system, he plays more like a hybrid because it's the double pivot. They're both supposed to go back and forth, switch, get upfield.
That's right.
But I mean, naturally, he is more of a 6. Yeah, so maybe he doesn't fit in this system like a glove. And I'd say that.
Okay. So then, I guess that's what I'm saying.
Stats, he is one of the most progressive passing midfielders in the league. He has.
If the glove don't fit, you must have quit.
Tons of tackles. He's a good defender. He generally does, most of what he's supposed to do pretty well. Yes, he's not super fast. Yeah, he doesn't like dribble through player after player.
He's the janitor Viking.
But he's a very good, solid workhorse midfielder. Ones that used to be crucial on every like Premier League winning.
He's our James Milner or our Henderson.
Exactly, exactly, and he's good at that. And I think the problem is this team
all right.
every
You know what?
Premier League game.
I've been successfully talked down. You got me, dude.
Yeah,
This
but
guy
hang on,
played
hang on.
every Premier League game for Tottenham last season. He's played pretty much every game so far for this season, and he played a World Cup where he plays almost every game for Denmark. He's gassed. He never rests. He's always playing.
I'm not buying this gas. I'm not buying this gas shit, Kieran. Kieran, I'm not buying this gas shit. How long did he have in between getting booted out the World Cup to get fit before we started resuming play again?
I think he needs more tattoos. I think his power resides in his tattoos.
I'm sorry. I wanted to go to Paul real quick. Paul was.
Yeah, well, I think Pierre. I think he's standard. You know, I don't think he's great. I think when he's off, he's really off. And I'm used to seeing a bit more flair in midfield from Tottenham. You know, I just don't. He's more of a destroyer than a creator, which I don't think is needed. I know people like him and puts in effort, but I just don't think he's good enough. It doesn't please my eye. I don't. When he gets the ball, I don't go, "Oh wow, Pierre's on the ball. What can possibly happen now?" Je ne sais pas.
Yeah,
but then
sometimes he will crush through everybody and score a goal. Like
he's scored some very good goals. He's also got quite a few assists, some really nice balls into the box and through balls. I think he's got technical ability. It's just not the primary facet of his game. The problem is that him and Bentancur together, it's too much of the same. The thing is, we need to be able to rotate between at least 3 midfielders, and if we're playing that too. And Bissouma and Sarr, neither of them are the third. We need somebody like a Sergei Milinkovic-Savic, somebody who can literally do it all, who is not only a hard worker, but is also a great finisher, a great creator.
Those players are so rare, and I get that. I get that those players are rare.
Well, if we're serious about being competing for trophies, then that's what we need to do. If not, then fuck all of this. Sack Conte, and we need to go back to young manager, young kids. Invest in the academy so the U21 team isn't getting spanked up and down the pitch every week, and produce some real talent. But we need to decide what the fuck we're gonna do.
Yeah, that's the thing. The club doesn't know. It's like they're wishy-washy, and it's like, are we a big club? Aren't we a big club? Like you said, if not, cool.
Has been overhauled. Our scouting network's been overhauled. I don't know how good it is now, but we need to scout the Japanese, the K-League, and the J-League, the Korean League and the Japanese League, and the MLS. There's got to be talent in the MLS.
I agree. Yeah.
That take a punt on.
I'm one of the biggest advocates for the
$10
talent.
million and $10 million, get them in and give them a run.
Yeah, I mean, 16 million broke the record for FC Dallas's transfer. That was the biggest transfer they ever had. 16 mil. That's chump change for a
But where are all these kids going instead? They're going to Germany. But if
Germany's the place to be if you're a youngin right now.
But if we were serious about being this team that promotes youth, that brings through youth, that has a great academy, world-class training facilities,
they'll play you as a young kid. They'll play you, and that's match. You know what I mean? That match.
Then we would be getting these kids young instead of years later going and paying these teams transfer fees.
So can I buy them? What type of team would you rather be?
Hang on.
I don't care. We just need to choose.
Name the last player that come out of the academy and is in the first team squad.
Kane.
No, it was Winks.
Oh, I thought you said is in the first team squad.
Or Ollie Skip, I guess. Ollie Skip would be the most recent.
That's a good one.
That's Jaffa Tanganga, those two.
Skip is done. I'm sorry. I don't see it anymore. I think the physio room ruined Skip.
It might have. He needs to
get one load. You think he got too big?
The main thing that I liked about his game was the fact that while he may not be perfect in the most technical aspect, he may not be the greatest with the ball, the most confident passer, but I do think that the physicality has been taken out of his game. He doesn't seem like he's going in with the same brawn that he impressed me with. That's just my.
I'm afraid he's going to go the same route of Winks. Yeah.
So I
just
think
scared passing. It just, but then also I've seen the scared passing from Bissouma, and I'm wondering, is that what we're supposed to be doing? Is that the tactic here?
Can't be, dude. Can't be.
Is it just the sheer non-confidence in the people surrounding you that you're just like, here, you take it. I mean, we see that when Hugo gets played the ball, he's very nervous. He doesn't know where to go with it. So I just think that there's got to be some kind of disconnect.
I haven't been on a stream for a long time.
Good show.
And I saw you pop up, and it was like I've got to spare half an hour, so.
I love it.
How poor was Lloris?
Yeah.
Oh god.
You know, it's
my
interesting
God.
you bring that up. That's actually the next topic I have.
It's
A little confession time. Jacob and Hugo.
Man, it's been what 3 or 4 games in a row that he's had clangers.
And he sort of looks like he's blaming people around him a lot. Like I see him like kind of gesturing and I could maybe I'm imagining that. Have you guys seen anything that you sort of think looks like that? I saw it in the Arsenal match.
Well, I mean,
we saw it all over the place in that Arsenal match with Son and Perisic. Clear miscommunication. Why is it the miscommunication is happening so much?
Fear. Fear
You
probably.
can't blame the language barrier because they all speak English.
I think some of the problem stems from just certain players in the team just not being of the required quality, just simply not being good enough, and that leads to a lot of players not trusting them and not wanting to give them the ball, and giving them the ball maybe in not the right ways or the right time at the right position because they think, I got to give this guy the ball and he's just gonna fuck it up, and they don't have confidence and trust in each other. And I also think some of these players like Son are struggling with Conte's tactical demands. I don't think Son. One of the reasons he's so poor is because he's being asked to play with his back to goal more, to come in and support the midfield and pass it around and keep possession, and then find opportunities to get forward. He's expected to combine with the wing back. This is not what Son does. Son runs in behind and he scores goals. That's what he does. And
I am agreeing with you, Kieran, and I also want to say that the left-hand wing back is playing in the channels that Son normally runs.
Yeah.
So Sonny loves coming up the wing and cutting inside, but he can't go up the wing because you've got Perisic or
Sessegnon.
There was a stat that I heard Will say last night on the first part of his show, which I think is something that's resonated with me, which was he's only 2 goals shy from his mark on this point last season.
Yeah.
That's just 2 goals. He has 1 good game, get a brace. Shit, he's back on target. And then everyone's going to be talking. And I just really feel like this is a stove that the gas has been on for a minute. We just looking to light the flame at this point. This is a guy that people are so quick to write off, and I just don't understand. The immediate hate just because he's not performing up.
Well, I do think that Conte is not setting him up to succeed. But I mean,
I would agree with that, Colin. Honestly, I love Conte. I like a lot about his tactics and the way he does things, but there's certain things I disagree with. And I think, for one, his refusal to let Kane drop deep and his insistence that Son play more like Kulusevski does is hurting the team. I think Kane needs to be allowed to drop in midfield. Son needs to be allowed to run in behind. you know, and that
We see that happen in the second half, right? That's when things start clicking. Is when they
in the
start
second
allowing
half,
Son to stop, dropping
No,
back, and
it seems
defending.
like in the second half. Here's what happens. Here's my theory: the players all decide, fuck it, we're gonna lose, fuck it, and they just ditch Conte's instructions and
do
just
their
play
own thing.
and just play.
I don't think
they're ditching it. I think he's relenting is what he's doing. I think he's trying to force his ideas, and when the players are incapable of performing it, then he's like, all right, just do the thing you're good at. And then they do that and come back.
Okay.
That's what's happening. And I think that's why Conte looks so frustrated and why he's talking about wanting players, because he wants players who can do what he asks and not just are one-dimensional. Son, and it's okay if it's just Son and Kane, but it's other players in the squad as well. You know,
disagree, Johnny Fitz.
This is part of the reason why I've been banging on that we need to play the 3-5-2, and I know we haven't looked good in it at times, but I think if we stick with it, we'll get better, because I really think that Son and Kane just need to be up top together in a 2 and allowed to just play off of each other, and you can put Decky out at right wing back,
almost like on a free. Like free rolls for both of them. Yeah.
And then have like Decky and Perisic at right and left wing back and just let them fly up the pitch. Let them play more like wingers than wing backs.
Sort of like Zaha.
And then you have the three midfielders. You know, one that's holding deep, like you have Bissouma holding deep, and you can have Hotspur and Bentancur or Skippin or Sar and Bentancur or whatever, playing as the double pivot. I think that would work. I think that's similar to what he did at Inter Milan, and I just don't understand why he's not willing to do that with us. I understand he likes playing the front 3 with Son, Kane, Kulusevski, but it's just, I think it's hampering us more. And especially when the defense is this bad, we really just need to have another midfielder in to shield them, because it's.
I agree.
Yeah,
you mentioned a cool thing though. You mentioned Sar.
Yeah.
Whoa, that kid's ready.
Yeah, I think he should just keep playing, honestly. That performance for a 19-year-old in his Premier League debut, that performance in a North London derby when his team was really playing horribly for a lot of the first half and going behind, toxic atmosphere, it's incredible how well he performed given all those circumstances. I think he's absolutely ready, and we should keep going with him. At least, off the bench here, start if somebody's injured, but he needs to keep getting Premier League minutes at this point. Yeah.
Fully agree.
Yeah, I think he did really well. He's nice and quick, isn't he? He's like runs, gets the ball, passes it quick, and I think he's the real deal. I think keep playing him. And like people were saying, don't play him for the North London derby because it's a pressure game. Well, he's already been playing at the World Cup. He's already won an African Confederations Cup. It's not like he hasn't had any pressure before. I think he was great.
He's played against PSG. He's played against Messi. He's played against.
He's been playing against grown men, for years now
in the French league. So yeah, he was. I think he was ready. Like, I honestly think. I would like to see a midfield of him and Bentancur. I feel like that would be a really, really cool midfield.
Yeah, I think that'd be a cool one. I think that'd be excellent. But I think
it'd be the most fun. It'd be the most fun we'd probably see.
And you see,
I was just saying. I think it would be like the most fun thing that we'd see this season.
I think it'd be awesome. That'd be a great midfield.
I'm probably in the minority, but I think there's a lot more growth needed from Sarr to be where he's supposed to be. I think he needs a loan to a lower division, lower Premier League side to get the experience and get the growth, get the minutes under his belt. Even if it's just a 6-month loan, playing all the time, getting regular minutes will improve him a hell of a lot more.
Honestly, at this juncture, are you talking about Sarr being better than Bissouma?
I said, don't you think he's looked better than Bissouma?
In one
so far?
appearance, yes. In one appearance, if you want to judge this based on his first start versus Bissouma's first start,
He's
I
also
would
had
say that this is
substitute
better.
appearances, and I think he's looked better in his substitute appearances.
But if we're talking about loaning one of them out, one of our mid, I'm not loaning Sar. I'm loaning Skip. Skip, go fucking replicate what you did with Norwich, please. But for a lower. I mean, when you look at the bottom of the table, there's
Southampton, I think, or something.
shit. Wolverhampton's down there. You could do a little swappity swap.
We can't
With the
do
Wolves,
Skip
you know what I'm
because
talking about.
Skip's homegrown, and we've got to have 4 players that are homegrown, home trained.
Yeah.
Does Harvey White count? Can we switch him out?
Harvey White counts. At the moment,
Why don't we
you've
go get
got
someone like Connor Cody? Why don't we
Kane,
go get Connor Cody?
I
White.
hate that guy.
He's a better dyer.
He's better than Dyer, yeah.
He's a better dyer.
He literally is.
But he's got 2 first names. He's got 2
literally-
first names. It annoys me. I hate him. I hate his name.
Yeah, but Cody's spelled like Coady. It's not.
That almost makes it even. That almost makes it worse.
It's cold.
That almost makes it worse.
It's
I see
funny,
it.
but
That's pretentious.
My
I
brain
don't
goes,
understand
"Ugh."
why Southgate selects Dyer instead of Cody, because Cody
Because
is essentially the
name's
same
Connor
player,
Cody.
but he's better. He's just the same player as Dyer, just a little better.
Gareth
What I
just
want to
doesn't
know
like
is
saying his stupid name.
why is Nottingham doing business? Wolves doing all this business. Chelsea's doing business.
Just watch out, dude. You know Levy's gonna treat us. He's gonna drop out 8 subs out of nowhere, all released.
Yeah, we're gonna bring
one
back.
after another.
Dude, the
We're
summer's
gonna
gonna
bring-
come quickly, and
Watch
fucking
for-
Ndombele's gonna come waltzing in, ready to eat. And
Oh
y'all
my
acting like
God,
he ain't
yeah.
ready to eat. Do you think that boy's weekly
Have another
salary?
can of
Think
Spain.
about it.
And Ndombele is going to Napoli. What are you talking about? He's gonna. They have an obligation to buy him if they make Champions League, and they're gonna win the league. So.
Give us Kvaratskhelia Shanarla. Give us
I
that
don't
guy.
reckon we're buying anyone.
No,
I can't. I don't think we're.
we're gonna
Like,
get.
there's a few warning signs. Like for some reason, the financial reports are out late after the transfer window. Then all of a sudden, Joe Lewis says he wants to sell up, and the Conte shenanigans and contract. It's just I think they've got so many excuses of why they're not going to buy someone that they'll use an excuse like that. They'll just
I don't know.
too
I don't know.
uncertain. Conte wouldn't agree.
Trossard seems to be coming.
No, someone else has got him, hasn't it? I thought he just signed for someone else.
Holy moly! I don't know.
I might be right. Hang on, I'm just a random internet weirdo. Don't believe me.
Me too. Hey, me too, dude.
I mean, if you think about it, like, what are we all anyway, if not connected to the internet in some fashion?
It says that both us and Arsenal are after him. I feel like this might be his agent linking, though.
Yeah,
He's trying
Arsenal
to
doesn't.
push the
Arsenal
money.
doesn't really need him. He wouldn't really. I don't think he would play much. I think he would play more at Spurs than he would at
I don't
Arsenal.
think he's a Conte player either. To be honest, I don't think we're getting Trossard.
You don't think he's good. He would be good rotation for
I
Kulusevski.
think I honestly don't know what we're gonna do, because I feel like the only way we're signing Porro is if we can move on Emerson Royale. That's the only way we sign Porro.
That is the most ludicrous thing. That I just don't get how we can expect to improve as a football club if our crap
we
players say, "I'm quite happy here," and you get what you do is you get the new player in, and then Emerson will soon piss off because he ain't playing.
I agree with you, Paul, but that's not how Daniel Levy works.
Unbelievable.
How is it-
No wonder we're fucked.
I want to
Why
ask
do you
you this.
think it's-
How is it that
this
we
is my
terminate...
theory.
Kieran, hang on, Kieran. Why is it that we terminate the contract of Serge Aurier, and now he looks better than any right back we've brought in since that
Right?
termination?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
man.
Big time,
He's
yes.
getting man of the match performances with the Premier League side.
There's.
He still has a clangor.
I don't know. I'm a crazy person, but I think that Spurs needs big change, and I mean Poch said it years and years ago, and there has not been big change. I think that as much as it's going to hurt, I think it might be. I think it might be good for the team to just have a complete rebuild, pick a direction, maybe sell off some of our key players, and that right now, and start in the new direction. It's key players that want to go. How much longer do you think Kane's going to want to stay?
No, I mean, honestly, I see it as if Conte walks, Kane's going to go, and then we might see the likes of some of the other big names go. Will also saying here that it was 3, not 2. So he's 3 goals behind his mark, which still, give him 2 good games. He can make that up, so I still have faith. Midway through the January window, and we don't even have any outgoings, much less incomings. It's a sad time. Kane last season had 4 Prem goals by this same date last season, which is the same as Son. And I was actually watching a stream earlier. Shout out at whoever the fuck. I don't remember whose it was. They were talking about this guy was going off about Son. And I was saying in the chat, like, did you keep this same energy for Kane last season? Because to my understanding, they're roughly in the same. Like when Kane down tooled, were you this fucking angry?
I was so mad about Kane. I was like, get rid of him.
So was I, dude. But I was also emotionally kind of hurt because I was like,
yeah,
do you want to leave us like that?
Same, dude.
You mean bastard.
I was like, bring us Mitrovic and we'll win the league without you. I love Alexander Mitrovic. He's like aging out now. He's like aging out now.
I know.
He's aging out. He's not.
Did you see his fucking penalty the other day? They lost to Newcastle. They were 0-0 and they had a penalty and he scored it, but he kicked it off his own foot, so it was a double touch and it was disallowed. And then Newcastle went down and scored and took all 3 points at the last second.
That's incredible. I mean, Kane skied it in a World Cup match that was.
Let's not talk
important.
about that.
So I mean, it happens. Even great players miss penalties.
I'm actually, what I'm gonna do real quick is because I need to take a little break to the man's room.
Good to you.
Just hang up. I wanted to share with all of yous, this is the starting lineup, and I kind of wanted y'all to talk about it, and then I also want to get y'all's player ratings, like 1 through 10. You can use decimals, okay? So you can use decimals. You can say like but I want to go through as a group, and we can all pick our ratings. But before we do that, I just want to know, general thoughts on the 11. Look at the scores here as well. Do you agree with them? Do you disagree? Son with the lowest score on the team. Harry Kane with the highest score on the team with an 8. I don't know was he that good? Oh, shit, I can't get it to go away. Get out of here.
Did you break your computer, bro?
No, because it's like, because I'm sharing it. Hang on. Because I'm sharing it, it was like blocking the little X. That's messed up. Come on, man.
So on average, Arsenal was only 0.5 better than Tottenham. Is this what this statistic is trying to tell me?
This is Sofa Score. So make of that what you will. I have heard some disputing things about Sofa Score, but
I reckon
Colin, if you want to handle the comments, I will be right back.
I'm also got a.
Colin, the co-host, cohorting co-host, the cohorting co-host. Colin, that's a good tongue twister. Colin, the cohorting co-host.
Colin, the cohorting co-host.
I will be back in a couple of minutes.
All right, Shine.
One of the things you have to consider with these SofaScore ratings is that
there's metrics.
Yeah, and sometimes players that are more involved in the match, even if they don't play particularly well, just because they do more in the game, will have higher ratings. Yeah. So I think that's why if you look at Sessegnon and Højbjerg, they were involved in the match. I didn't think they were very good, but they were involved a lot, which is why they had higher ratings and more.
So you're saying these scores, they're like a computational thing. They're not like voted in or done by experts. Right, cool.
Right, it's like math.
It's complete bollocks then, isn't it? But okay.
Yeah, the score. Personally, I don't like the player ratings from SofaScore. I mean, I think you can look at the individual player's stats, and that'll tell you more. Like, for example,
but I still think though that had one of our many chances gone in, we would have been, I think poised to get the second one. We just got really unlucky. We were just so unlucky. We had good chances. I don't know what. I guess people would like our defense to be better, and I get that. Hugo's thing was a mare, but that was individual mistake. I don't think Spurs are quite as doomed and fucked as everybody else does, but that's also just my nature. Like, I don't think like that, but like,
Well,
I don't know.
so if you look at, like, let's just go with the players then. Like, Ryan Sessegnon, he had 50 touches, which is another reason why his rating is so high. You know, the wingbacks just get the ball a lot in this system. 24 out of 27 accurate passes is 89%. It's not bad, but, you know, he didn't make a whole lot of progressive good passes. He had 2 crosses. Neither were accurate. He had 1 dribble attempt. Only 1. He was successful, but it was only 1. He had that 1 big shot. That shot, it was off target. He had the whole goal in front of him. He should have scored, and it was off target. He had another one on target that was pretty easily saved. 7 ground duels, 4-1, 3 lost. So that's not terrible. It's not good. It's average, you know, defensively, and you know, and then aerial duels, he had 3 and he lost 2 and won 1. That's not good enough.
He's also a small guy.
1 clearance, 3 tackles. Yeah, but I mean, the wing backs need to be able to win those balls in the air. To be fair, that's one thing that Emerson Royal is actually decent at. He's pretty shit at almost everything else, but he's actually decent at the aerial duels.
Put him in a back 4, he would look like a legit player. But anyway, Sessegnon. Back to Sessegnon. Do you remember? I know that the championship is different, but it's not. Oh, my cat's trying to be on TV. But no. So I know it was the championship, but look, remember what he did for Fulham? Remember how many goals he scored for Fulham? Remember how insane of a player he was? Like that doesn't just I don't know. Like that's in him still. Like I know that you could say the same about Dele and be like, oh, he was great, remember? But you can see it in Sessegnon. I think the
injuries have ruined him. I think he does.
You don't think he's got the pace? He was pretty reliant on
I
pace.
think he has it, but I don't think he has the confidence to really let loose.
Like to push his body all the way.
Yeah, he's afraid of getting hurt.
That happens to a lot of people post injury.
Yeah, it does.
Okay, so
I think what you're saying is right, but he was great at championship level. You know,
exactly.
But he was better. He was better than the championship.
Yeah, but you can watch any.
When he got in the
Premier
Premier League, he wasn't good.
You can watch any league. You can watch any lower league game of football, and the players will look fantastic, and you see a great game of football. But when they get higher up, they just can't do the same things. And I think Ryan says he's just never done it at Tottenham. Never. I can't remember one performance where I thought, wow. And he's sitting there with a 7.
But he's never had like a bunch of consistent like starts in the same position. I don't know. And he also when he came in there was some question about whether he was a winger or whether he was, you know, a fullback. You guys remember all that debate? Yeah. I still am not sure what his position is. Like I'm still not sure what the dude's best position is.
I think he's a you know, average fullback for a middle to lower Premier League team, and I think he's a good championship winger. You know, that's kind of
what other Premier League team would have him?
I bet. Yeah. Okay, well, we said the same about Kyle Walker-Peters, and I would have him back. You know what I mean? Like,
actually, no. At the time, I didn't want to let him go, but you know,
but a lot of people did.
Like Højbjerg was a better player in exchange. To be fair, we did get the better end of the deal.
But we were trying to get him back, like actively. I don't know.
Are we?
Like I've heard rumors, but yeah, been hearing him for like since last summer though. So.
Well, anyway, let's move on. I guess. What do you guys want to talk about now? You want to talk about Son?
Yeah, let's move up. So we talked about Sessegnon forever just there, but
now we're going to talk about Son.
We lost viewers because of it, so sorry about that.
We'll talk about Son.
Where'd they all go?
They were like, fucking Sessegnon, who cares, dude?
See?
Way to go, guys.
He doesn't capture people's hearts.
I don't know. I think he would be one of those players that we'd sell him. We'd sell him, and he would look good wherever he went. After he was shit the bed here, just because we're Spurs.
All right, so
what happens?
Son had 1 shot, It was off target. 0.5 expected. 0.59 expected goals on that. 4 shots blocked. 1 big chance missed. That was off target. 85%, 22 for 26 accurate passes. 4 crosses, none of them accurate. 3 ground duels, lost all of them. 1 aerial duel, lost it. 14 times lost possession.
Woo!
He did not have a good game.
He's not good. He's not good at dribbling. He's not like a Ronaldo type player that can just go right up, like face players up and dribble. Like he's not that good at it. I know he seems sort of like that player, but he really just needs to run in behind. Like that's his strength.
Passing was more accurate than Harry Kane's.
That's kind of wild to me because passing is not Son's like strongest suit. He's not terrible. He's not a bad passer, but you know what I mean. Like he's not
no long ball.
He's not Kevin De Bruyne. Whatever. However you say that. Anyway, I don't know. I just think we're at a crossroads where we got to decide what we want, what our manager wants, and then if Conte wants to play this way, it sucks. But Son doesn't really fit that well in this system right now. Like he needs to.
I agree.
Honestly, he needs to change to accommodate Son, and that's saying something. I think the best manager, maybe in the world, needs to change to accommodate his player instead of the other way around because Son is a world-class talent.
I just don't understand why he can't play the 3-5-2 like he did at Inter Milan and have Kane be his Lukaku and Son be his Lautaro. You know?
Yeah, you should write him a letter.
I just don't understand why he's so unwilling to do that. I mean, I feel like it's because he doesn't have a Barella, and that's what he needs is a Barella, a real box-to-box number 8 who's going to create and score goals. And you know, I feel like if we had that player, then maybe he'd be willing to do that.
Right.
You know, he'd probably play Højbjerg as the 6, and then Bentancur in a double pivot with whoever that 8 would be. You know,
Sar. No, Sar's a weird hybrid player too. Sar's a weird one.
He's not that kind of player either. He's more of a sitter too.
Brozovic, that's
He's kind of dude. Sar's is like a better Winks.
Yeah.
That's so far. That's how I would see him. If Winks was good. Anyway,
Winks had a couple flashes in the pan. But I did want to ask.
Oh, I thought you had some stuff to say about our goalkeeper.
I did. Is this a good time?
I think so. We've reached a point. Yeah, I think it's
confession time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Get it out, bud. Get it out. Get it out.
Preach, bro.
We're all here for you, man.
Hugo Lloris. This is gonna hurt me to say, Papi Lloris, as I like to call him. Hugo Daddy Lloris. It's time. It's time. Yeah. It's time that I admit that maybe I've defended him too long. Maybe the goalkeepers union has spoken to me. Maybe I've tried to stand up for him too much. I don't understand what it is, but for a game of that magnitude, you're at home. I mean, even if you just look at the steel frames of that blunder on the first goal, there's like 5 people around that ball. Bro, hit it with your face. I don't give a shit what you do. There's this one place to not let that ball go, and that is to your left. And he fucking hit it to his left. Own goal for a goalkeeper. Maybe he's having the ultimate World Cup hangover. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know.
Maybe it's a real hangover. Oh, burn. Sorry. In bad taste.
The thing about Hugo Lloris, like, he's always been a good shot stopper. But there's just, I guess at this stage in world football or Premier League football, fucking keepers have to play with it well at their feet. Here's the thing. I played goalkeeper. I played it because I wasn't good with the ball at my feet. You know what I'm saying? I didn't work on that. I played basketball. I played 3 sports, so I was really good with my hands. So it was natural. So it's just natural that I gravitated to the goal. Plus, I'm not a very good runner. I don't run endurance long at all. So like, what other position am I going to play? I I was a good shot stopper. I feel like I shared a lot of similarities with Hugo. Good shot stopper, but don't put that ball in my feet. You pass that ball to me, don't do that, because I don't know what's going to happen next. And, you know, I think I had a conversation, I think on Sava's stream with Kuva about this, that if a goalkeeper doesn't trust their defenders, that's going to be, that is worse than if the defenders didn't trust the goalkeeper. And he was a defender, so he argued that the worst thing was when you didn't have confidence in your goalkeeper, because you know if that ball gets behind you, there's a likelihood that he's gonna. There was 5 defenders, midfielders, whatever. I mean, Sessegnon obviously booty cheeks on that play because he just Ballsacker just ran all over him. See ya. Who was that? Paul. Bye, Paul. Thank you for joining. He didn't like my confession. Did he say he was here for me? I thought he said I'm here for you, and I guess it was a lie. But bye, Paul. Thank you for making your debut. Hugo for me has always been a bright spot. I've argued that he's world class. I've said a lot of things that I'm just starting to think maybe I shouldn't have said ever in my life. Or maybe at one point I could have said, but not in 2022, 2023. I thought in the Aston Villa game that he definitely kept us in the game. I thought that he had a couple of really good saves. Even versus Crystal Palace as well. In the first half, he kept us in that game. And that's just what he does. But at the end of the day, if we're going to play with defenders like Eric Dyer, Longley, and even Romero in the derby was not great. If we're going to play with these players who, not necessarily Romero, because he likes to get forward. He likes to play fucking striker. I don't know what he's doing sometimes. But Eric Dyer's not confident with the ball at his feet. Højbjerg is going to pass it back all the time. Longley, I thought he was supposed to be a good passer, and he was not good on Sunday. So I'm just wondering, if we're going to play like this, where we fucking play out the back and we're always relying on our goalkeeper to play with the ball at his feet, we can't have a goalkeeper that's like me, that is questionable whenever he has the ball at his feet, that you don't quite know what's going to happen. Maybe he doesn't even know what's going to happen. Look at some of these blunders. I mean, we were lucky they didn't score sooner. There was one lucky in Nketiah's fucking shit, and because they, oh my god, and he had a great save. But why did we have that problem? Because the ball got played to him, he was pressured, he fucking passed it to nobody, and then our problems went from there. So what I'm trying to say is, if we're gonna play out of the back, we got to get a goalkeeper that can fucking play with the ball at his feet, not a goalkeeper like me. That's all I'm going to say. I feel like that was a pretty good confession. What's up? Paul is back. Paul is back.
Paul is back.
Paul is back.
Paul, yeah.
Are you still talking about Hugo?
Yeah.
I just finished my.
Yeah,
I feel
I
better.
think it's really.
I feel like I got it off my chest.
I think it's really sad that, because I'm kind of with you, Jacob, and I kind of put it on the club a bit. That's put us in this position of, you know, he's been a long servant of the club, and they should have, replaced it or had succession in earlier. And now we're in the position of seeing him, and he just can't do what we want him to do. And it's a shame. Like that own goal, the thing that disturbed me most was the way he flinched. Yeah. Like, you don't flinch. You've got to put your head there, and if it hits you in the face, it hits you in the face.
You know how many times? No, I mean, it's really a handful, but I've been knocked out a few times because one of my appendages are going to stop that shot, whether it's a penalty, whether it's a free kick, whether it's open play. I'm going to block that shot. And I remember one of my proudest moments, I took one right to the face, and I just remember, and when I came to, I was like, did he score? And they said, no, we won the game. CC's pizza not on me, and that was a good day.
Heck yeah, dude. CC's pizza is just a good day. Anytime.
But I agree with you, Paul. I think seeing that flinch, it's alarming. His play before the goal as well. is what I was kind of mentioning. Is these are all red flags, and like if we're gonna play out of the back, you have to have a keeper who feels like he can run down the ball, run down the whole field with the ball and score. You know what I mean? That's what you need to keep it. Ederson. That's what I'm gonna say. What is this?
Yo, I just want to say what's up to my boy Cody.
What's up, Cody?
Yeah, me and Cody known each other since first grade. He's a real one. He's a top G, as some
Cody
would say.
Fredrickson.
But yeah, Cody, the link's in here somewhere if you want to come say hi. All right.
Yeah, come say hi.
He's right. He said Hugo has had a tough time recently, tough for Spurs as a whole. Yeah, man. It's sad to see. It's like
It feels like the end of an era, but like, what did this era bring for him other than fucking disappointment?
I don't know how many games has he. I mean, he's always had.
Bro,
an
he's
error
been a
in
servant.
What I'm
Over
saying
100
is, how
club
much has he really reverted? Is maybe he's just in a bad patch. He's always had an error in him. You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah, but like this. I mean, bro, he's 36.
Yeah, I know. It's time. It's probably time.
He's 36.
How old's Frazier?
I think like 32. Let me see. I mean, what does it matter?
I'm just wondering
Let's
if
see.
we just have two old man keepers.
34.
On the books.
Yeah, he's 34. You're right, Shane.
So okay, I don't know. What do you guys think? Should we ever? Was there ever a world where we should play him instead of Hugo?
If there's ever been a time to talk about it, it's now. But I would also say that what has Forster shown us that proves he can come in and do anything different. I would only argue that he might not do the whole. There's one place this ball cannot go, which is directly to my left, and then when the ball hits him, push it to his left.
Right.
I just I want to blame someone else. I want to say Dyer should have dived in front of that ball. Someone else should have went out for. They were all standing around looking like mannequins with fucking hands behind their back, because apparently that's how you defend in 2023 and 2022.
Don't get me started on that fucking shit, man.
Everyone's arrested. Zip tie all the defenders, and they run around with. Actually, they don't run around, because as soon as they put their hands behind their back, they fucking stand there and then kick a leg up like they're a fucking chicken. And it, honestly,
fucking appalling, man.
It is the most frustrating thing I've ever seen. If I was a goalie and my defenders were doing that, I would probably fucking go kick them myself, because that's just annoying. It's just, you become an object to either one, dribble around, or two, curve the ball around. And you know what? I don't need you standing in my way looking like a fucking mannequin. That's like, on a level that comes down to the goalkeeper too. It's like, bro, move out of my way so I can at least see if you're gonna either get the ball or get out of my way so I can see the shot. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and your mobility is totally cut down as well. If you're running around with your arms behind your back, you can't balance or do anything quickly. I hate every time I see Eric Dyer doing that. I just want him off the pitch immediately. I can't stand it.
Drives me insane. Mm-hmm. Turning away from the shot. What a he's such a coward. And he comes out and does the post-game interview, and he's like, "Yeah, well, you know,
I mean, the way they run it is like
hard, we just got to move on, you know." Coward mentality.
Wait, you watched the post-match interview? I didn't have it in me, man. I couldn't do it to myself.
The way they're acting as if I'm going to get a handball. It's like handballs are so infrequent, and I know there's been problems with VAR. But
how many times an arm been out here, it hit right here, and they're fine?
Yeah.
I don't know. World Cup final though, or World Cup semi-final. No, final. Wow. World Cup final sticks out in my mind about a certain handball.
Okay, well, if he wouldn't have been able to jump if he had his whole game. I just you just can't.
I said World Cup. I meant Champions League.
Sorry, Paul. Go ahead. Go ahead, Paul.
I just don't. Well, you just can't defend like that. You can't even keep up with a player if your arms are behind your back. And it's worth it if it's just to keep balance or to keep momentum, then risking a handball is worth it, because you're going to be absolutely useless 100% of the time instead of give away a penalty 1% of the time.
Yeah,
I agree. 1,000% with you, Paul.
Okay, guys, I'm going to have to head off. I've got a few jobs to do before I cook dinner, so I will catch up with you later.
Hey, it was really good
Big
seeing
up,
you,
Shane. It was
Shane.
really good to
So,
see
yeah,
you, man.
good
Thank
seeing
you for popping up with Jacob tonight.
Yep. Love yous all.
Love you, man. Stay
Good
strong.
luck, buddy. Yep.
Get those
Be
jobs
good.
done quick and relax early.
Be
Full
good,
Bull, I
Shane.
hope you are wrong. Eric Dyer and Ben Davies will outlast Kane's son, Lloris, and Conte.
Ben
They've been here
Davies'
too long.
testimonial year next year. How'd that happen?
Wait, what?
Who's
He's
got
10
that?
years at Tottenham next year.
Who
Ben
is?
Davies.
Oh my god.
Ben Davis is good though. So
Ben
that's cool.
Davis testimonial. I think Will has a
Fuck
sound
me.
effect for that. He has a whole like little slideshow and everything come out.
It's gonna be a wonderful thing. I want to get tickets. Like I would go. Who Bale would be there for sure.
You think so?
You know, I went to Ozzy Ardele's testimonial game, and I got to see Maradona. Who do you think will rock up for Ben Davies' game?
Probably just Bale, yeah. It'll just be Bale. Yeah.
That'd
Probably
probably be
the
the
other-
biggest name there, yeah.
And
Or
then just like a
Kane
bunch
or
of his
something.
friends.
Yeah.
I think Jose will be there.
Maybe Ledley King would just come and kick the ball around a little bit.
All I know is they better not let Aaron Ramsey put on a Tottenham shirt.
Oh,
That's
dude,
all
I
I'm
would.
saying.
There would be riots in the streets. I don't know. That wouldn't be good. Not for the safety of North London.
Kieran, I don't know if I heard your opinion. What are you guys? What are we saying here? Lloris or Forster?
Forster, man. You got to sit Lloris at least for a couple games. Get him out of the spotlight, get him out of the heat. He needs to
Bro, if
I
you're
don't
not
know.
composed at home, where the fuck are you gonna be composed? Is my
Dude,
question.
he needs to. I just think we got to pull him out of the fire for a little bit and just hopefully let him reset. Just give Forster a couple matches. He's not terrible. He's not great, but he's not terrible.
He's fucking huge, dude. He's
just
massive.
a big bastard, and he's a pretty confident goalkeeper. And it
Oh,
means
Yeah,
big bastard.
he's confident in himself.
he's sometimes he will he will be a little overconfident and be a little reckless. And no, he won't make some of the spectacular saves that Lloris will, but he also doesn't make a lot of howlers either. You know,
I
think
Brad Friedel back. I'm not even kidding.
I think he'd be fine.
I
Honestly,
feel like it's an argument. Like for me, like Jed Spence. What could be worse? What is worse job that they could be doing? You know what I mean? And while we're all
he's
have our
better than
reply
Joe
on the
Hart.
cusp of our
Scott's killing me in the comments, dude. Will you get Scott up in here? He's
bro,
absolutely
Scott,
nailing
I
it.
will. But first, real quick. With Mia. What's cracking, Mia? Good morning for you.
Yeah, it's 5:30 here
Morning, Mia.
in the morning.
Good morning.
Good
morning.
morning.
Top of the morning. That's
gotta
a
get up
really
in about-
awful impression.
My alarm goes off about 6:15, but I woke up really early, so there's no point in me going back to sleep because I have to get up anyway in half an hour. So
So you
Well,
felt why
Here
not
I
come and
am.
hang out?
What a
Pop
great
up with
time to
Jacob.
pop up with Jacob. That's what this show's all about, honestly. We were talking about, I'm just going to throw you right in the deep end, Mia. We were talking about Lloris. We were talking about Forster. We're saying who we think should and why. What's your immediate hot take on the subject?
it has to be Forster. We have to give him a chance. We can't carry on with Lloris because at the end of the day, Lloris keeps making these silly mistakes. It's just not good enough. He's costing us games. I know, obviously we didn't play good enough in the end, but when you think about it, that minute he kicked out went to do that goal kick and messed it up, and that's when everybody started getting nervous. It was from then, because before that we was all right, but as soon as he did that, that was it. Everybody was nervous as fuck, and everyone was just like shit, and it was really nervy. So to me, he's the captain, and he caused us to lose our nerve, in my opinion.
Yep.
And then he
I agree.
conceded a stupid, dumb goal. So that didn't help either. And he's supposed to be our captain. Literally, man, what's wrong with you?
Yeah, that's actually a
I
good point.
agree,
He
yeah.
He should probably sit.
What's up,
We gotta
Becker?
pull him.
Big ups, buddy. Go Cowboys. I did star this. Will Conte last a month? For me, he has checked out. It's only a matter of time. I would say that he's going to see out the contract at least. Maybe sacked first, but I don't. You say checked out. I guess I'm going to ask, do you think what would happen first? Conte getting sacked or him walking? Or do you think he's going to see out the end of the contract? Levy and the board will let him see out the end of the contract. Seems very much destined for a Jose Mourinho type of divorce. Really curious.
If the players have given up on him,
he looks worn out to me a bit. I think Levy's just been fucking him about basically, like he has every other manager, and that's going to show through in his performance and demeanour and through to the team. And I don't think we're going to buy anyone spectacular this transfer window. Maybe we'll lose the next 3 games on the bounce, and I think by the end of January he's going to either walk or be sacked. I don't know which, and I feel sorry for the guy because I think he's been sold a lemon.
I agree with you in some ways, right? But let's understand this. Those players, wouldn't you be exhausted watching those absolute imbeciles try to defend every single week? Honest to God,
sure, yeah.
like what? Like I do think it's partly it's the players, because he's telling the players to do something and they're not flipping well doing it. Just do your bloody job. That's what you're paid for. You're meant to be a footballer. You're meant to be a defender. Yet you cannot defend. I swear to God, on Eric Dyer's CV, it does not say footballer. It says clown. It does not say footballer. He's a clown.
Why has he been at the club so long, Mia? Why has he been here so long?
It's a joke why he's been at the club
we
for so
value
long.
him too high. Levy values him higher than his actual skill.
He doesn't do shit. He doesn't do
for
shit.
some reason, remember when United wanted him and Levy was like 40 million.
He's a championship level player, to be honest.
I would say a Bournemouth, a Norwich, a yo-yo team.
Okay, maybe a bottom of the league.
Honestly, no. He
Nah,
could be
he'd
good
be one
in
of them
he could
yo-yo
be good in
clubs.
the
He'd be
top
good in a
Premier League
yo-yo
team
club.
next. He could be good in a 4.
No.
Next to a very good.
No, he cannot.
He was terrible in a 4 under Jose.
I didn't like him in anything I've seen him in. He is
Jose
done.
He's not a
fucking
center
done.
back.
No
He's
one
not
is going to
even a
come on this
center
show
back.
and fucking tell me that Eric Dyer has anything more than Bournemouth, Norwich, West Brom Albion
The
type
circus.
quality.
Or
I'm
the
not hearing
circus.
it.
Surely
Or
he
the
belongs in
fucking
the
circus,
circus.
yeah,
Belongs
doing
in the
jumps
circus,
through hoops and
yeah.
shit.
Mia, you were relentless. You're after him. But I get
He's
it. No, I
awful.
get it.
Because he's awful.
QPR,
So would you play?
maybe.
Would you play Japhet Tanganga over him?
No, but I would put
No.
I would probably put either
I'm putting Romero in the middle, and I'm saying, give me
Romero,
what you
yeah.
did for Atalanta. That's how you won Serie A Defender of the Year, playing in the middle of a back 3.
Yeah,
I'm
but
gonna say Romero, you go in the middle, Longley on the left, because as much as Davies has been fleeing his body in front of a bullet type guy,
Davies is amazing.
But Jacob,
and then
At-
I'm
at-
going
at-
Tanganga.
at
Fuck it.
Atalanta under is it Gasparini, the manager?
Yeah.
There, yeah. I mean, it's a back 3, but like he plays it totally differently. So Romero
sort of inverted to how we play it.
Yeah,
This guy.
so Romero, instead of being like the deepest center back, was always the one furthest forward. He would like push forward when they attacked, and he would step up and like and kind of like press. He was almost more like a holding mid than he was, a center back. So the other two would stay deep. As we're in Conte's system, Dyer, the central center back, is the deepest player on the pitch.
Yeah,
So-
two push-ups.
Yeah,
They
played it
doesn't-
opposite to how we do. So like he can't play in the middle in Conte's back.
It doesn't matter what tactics Conte plays, what formation he plays, or what manager says do what. Our defense is just shit.
Yeah, they
It
are.
doesn't
They're
matter.
shit.
Well, you could have had any different selection of team or anything, 4-4-2 or whatever. We still would have been beaten truly by Arsenal because our defense is shit. That's it.
I saw
Yeah,
people
We've got one good
defending
defender.
Eric Dyer
One
by
good
saying
defender.
I saw people defending Eric Dyer on Twitter yesterday by
He's a
saying
wanker.
they were saying Again, he's the first one to speak to the media after a devastating loss. Get the fuck, shut the fuck up. If that's your argument that he's a fucking person we should keep around,
That's
sorry.
why I'm not on
He's-
Twitter.
he's
Full of
all-
Twitter's opinions are like a chocolate teapot, fucking useless. That's what they are.
Yeah. And I'm
This
sorry.
is what I don't
Long
understand. Look,
Lane-
this is a good point that John Fitzpatrick brings up. If we have no defenders, and Conte said he's happy with them,
He
why did he
doesn't-
say that when he said that? And
he
then he was
doesn't
like,
drag his players in the media. He's not Jose. He doesn't do that.
"I love Jose for
He's
that."
never
being
done that.
like, same players, different manager.
I mean, I love Jose too. Honestly, I really like Jose.
That
Mourinho.
motherfucker spit it how it was.
Yeah,
Conte
I like
tried to
these
do it
players
too.
getting dragged. You know,
Fuck
do your
them,
fucking
bro. Get the
job.
fuck out of here.
They get paid so
Them.
much money. They get paid so much money to do this. You're at the top level. Perform like
It's
it.
sort of embarrassing.
get out.
Actually, it's sort
And
of
if
embarrassing.
you remember
When
that
see their
Amazon-
mistake-
Sorry, Colin, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say when you see the mistakes they're making and you know their salary, it's pretty public. It is actually embarrassing, and it
then you
makes
got
me
Ben
really
Davies
question.
acting like a little punk ass on Amazon, being like, I see
Motherfucker-
lots of managers. I
Ben
think
Davies
him,
makes
Eric
like 70
Dyer.
grand a week.
I think they're
dude.
the
Don't
same
pay him a-
motherfuckers who be leaking the dumb bullshit. Like, okay, with Poch, it was his trainings were too intense, and then with Jose, his trainings weren't intense enough, and then with Conte, they're too tactically
Repetitive.
demanding or repetitive or
And-
whatever it
yeah.
was. It's just like, come on, man.
Yeah, they're
Who keeps
repetitive
leaking
because you
this to the
guys
same
keep
fucking
doing the
journal?
same shit over and over again. You keep making the same fucking mistakes. So of course training will be repetitive because he's gonna make you do the shit over and over again until you get it fucking right, or until he can get somebody better than you to do your job. Fuck these
I don't-
guys, man. Fuck these players.
I don't think some of these players have got. I don't think some of these players have got a brain in that head of theirs. Honestly, like, why do you think you have to repeat something? Because you're shit at it. Because you're shit. That's why you have to fucking repeat it. You absolute idiots. Like, honestly, I
How
want to
come our
shake them.
training photos are always like back at it, fist emoji,
You know,
and they're doing like training band shit? I want to see some crosses in the box. Let me see some of that.
Dude, I was thinking exactly the same earlier today. I'd look at, you'd see these training videos and they're like rolling about on a foam sausage or some shit, and I want to see them like wrestle a bear in the woods or something like that. It's dirty. Like Rocky 4. It reminded me of Rocky 4 when his first Rocky 3. His first fight against Clubber Lang, he lost the eye of the tiger. You know, he had to get back to the streets. And we're rolling around on foam sausages. No wonder we're fucking soft. No wonder,
Can you
like,
imagine?
yesterday,
Been tenderizing
yesterday,
all
right?
week.
Look, yesterday when Lloris made that first fuck up and it affected the whole team, there was not one man in that team that came up with the counterbalance to it. They all just fucking folded.
No
I was
balls.
literally thinking the word folded in my head, and then you said they all fucking folded, and I just want to say that was very symbiotic right there, Paul.
Yeah,
And
back
that's
in the
why-
gym.
And that's why everybody feels so bad about this loss, because what it was is in that first half, we
Humiliating.
capitulated. And it's the thing people always accuse Tottenham of being is soft. Of, you go down, lads, it's Tottenham. Like, you go in, you score a couple goals, and they'll just fold,
Oh my!
It's Richarlison posted this on his Instagram. It's him and
As a baby with Martinelli.
they're being forced to wear the same shirt. It's like they're brothers or something, and they're being mean,
Camiseta,
so their
that
mom puts them in
shirt.
the same
Tommy
shirt.
said that I don't know what those other words.
You need. Yeah.
So even he
fuck
is
Some
like,
shirt.
so even he is bullshitting. Like, he's on the pitch yesterday, yesterday trying to act like a hard man, trying to start shit, like smacking Ramsdale. But then the next day he's going to post some shit with another one of their
Martinelli.
players who just happens to be, Brazilian. But it's okay because they're friends.
Hey, fair play to Richarlison
Like, so-
though.
so
He didn't
stop
high
with
five
the
Martinelli
fake
before he
bullshit,
came
man.
into the game, Kieran. Before he came into the game, there was a point Chartinelli, as he's referred to on this channel. He was going for a corner, and he walked up, and Richarlison was at that corner warming up or whatever, and he tried to high five him, and Richarlison was like, "No, fuck you. You've been rolling around too much. Like, get out of here." And I saw a video of it from the fans, and honestly, it was pretty sweet. was pretty sweet. So I like what I saw from Richarlison, but that post Colin you just showed me, I don't understand what the fuck that was.
Yeah.
Question here from Ron though.
Oh, apparently he apologized for it in the media. Don't fucking apologize.
Oh, I
Plays
bet
for
Brazil
fucking
media
Arsenal.
was pissed. I bet Brazil
Oh,
media
yeah.
was pissed.
He should just
They're
say,
like-
look, when we're on the pitch, we're enemies. That's it. Like, that's what he should say.
Plus, you play for fucking.
That's probably
dick
why.
lickers.
That's probably
Come on,
that's probably why he posted that shit on his Instagram.
man. Ron
Be
says,
like, see,
question
we're
for
friends,
Conte.
even though we're mad at
Yeah,
each other.
yeah.
Okay,
Probably a political
yeah.
post. Ron says, question if Conte walks, would you guys accept Tuchel? We'll go around
Yes.
the horn on this one. Colin
Yeah.
says yes. Mia, what's your answer?
I'm not
Yes.
dumb.
Yes. Paul, what do you got?
No, I don't know. I didn't really like him, but maybe that's because he was just Chelsea at the time. I don't know. I don't think it
that's it.
matters.
I agree with that.
The problem
Kieran-
is though, we've got to give somebody time. If anybody comes, we can't. We have to give them time because that always is the way.
And
But
they have to
everyone-
want time. They have to want time. Like we're in a case right now where the manager wants. It seems like he might want to go.
Yeah, if
So
he
the
wants
Tottenham-
time,
The Tottenham way is to give them time and Eric Dyer.
You don't
I
get
understand
one
what
without the
you're
other,
saying,
man. Hey,
but-
it's like a devil and an angel. You know, you got to give some to get, and you know, to be the Spurs manager, you have to keep Eric Dyer around.
Yeah.
the thing
Kieran,
is,
where
Well,
do you land?
To
the
be
thing
honest,
about sorry,
to be honest, I don't care who comes in. If Conte walks, I don't care. I just want the owners gone, and I don't care who we get or what we do, because if we're not going to back him, then I don't believe that we're going to do anything else right. So it doesn't really matter who we get until these owners sell the club. That's really how I feel.
You know, it's actually sad that I came to you before I came to myself, because that's kind of my answer as well. I was like, Tuchel, fucking Muchel, Buchel, Coochie, it don't matter who the fuck you hire. If you ain't gonna do shit with the manager, you ain't gonna do the shit with the right players. It don't fuck. Because when we got Jose, I was so excited. I'm thinking trophy, and he got us to the fucking final 5 days before it sacked. Ryan Mason's managing a final. Granted, it was a far shot that we'd win that bitch, but if Jose's our manager, I much more like our chances than Ryan Mason. Now moving
Don't
from
forget
that,
that shit was. Hey, you can't forget that in the league under Mourinho at that time, shit was kind of shitty. You know what I mean? Like I don't know,
we were top of the league in November last when he was our manager.
Yep.
So,
but not when he was sacked.
but okay, that's another story. We were still gonna win a fucking piece of silverware that we haven't won that cup since 2008, bro. I was in high school when we won that cup. Come on now.
Oh wow! And what happened too when we were top of the league under Jose? What started to happen to our team? Oh yeah, our defense, led by Eric Dyer, started
And
to
Ben
play
Davies.
like total shit and conceded a bunch of goals. And he changed the formation, he changed the players around, and nothing worked. And we still conceded a bunch of goals, and that's why we finished fucking 7th instead of.
So that's what I'm
in the
saying.
top
It doesn't
4.
matter who you fucking. And everyone says no too, because honestly, I think he's a little punk ass bitch for that shit that he did post match to Conte.
That's it,
If
man.
I'm Conte,
Whatever,
I'm
dude. He
fucking-
wins.
He's not-
This dude.
Yeah,
Nah,
This
we
dude
pulling
wins
up.
trophies with shitty teams. It's perfect for Spurs. He's the
Even
perfect fit.
That
He wins
Chelsea
trophies
team had
with
some
shitty
great
He did win
players
Champions
on
League
it.
with Chelsea.
I'm talking about what he's done in Europe with other teams. Am I thinking of the
Dortmund?
right?
What did he
mean,
do
he-
with Dortmund?
I'm thinking of no. Am I not thinking of the right dude? Hasn't
PSG.
Tuchel won either the Europa League before?
He was a failure with PSG. He won the Champions League with Chelsea,
Yeah,
He-
I know
he
that
did-
much.
but
I
he
could've
was
sworn
a
I
failure
could've
with
sworn he's
PSG,
got a
and I don't know what
Europa.
he did with Dortmund.
Who's Sevilla's coach?
It used to be Lopetegui, which is the now manager of Wolves.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think it matters, honestly. I think if we are going to continue under these owners, I would rather for them in the meantime, since we know they're not going to fucking spend any money, just invest into the fucking academy, get a manager who's get fucking hire just like Scott Parker or somebody.
Scott M.
Somebody who's going to
Scotty
play
Parker.
Scott M.
just
Oh my
somebody who's
God.
going to play with some young players,
Yeah,
play some attacking
Scott's
football.
right.
and just bring through Alfie Devine and Dane Scarlett, because Kane and Son will be, at the ending of their careers. They'll have 1-0. We'll have wasted their entire careers here. Just fuck it. Like, I'm kind of where Kuva's at with the just fuck it. Just play the kids and play attacking football and vibes until these owners leave. Except for, I'm not ready to say Conte out. I want him to stay, and I want him to be backed, but I know that's probably not going to happen. So,
see
Yeah.
Cubes,
I
pick
think-
up Cubes.
I think
Tuchel's
Conte's
and
been
Lampard than
the-
Potter. Nice.
I think Conte's been the best manager we've had in ages. I think because he's actually told us what's going on. I think he's been very honest with the fans, and he's been very upfront. So, like other managers, they've played players that have been foisted upon them that they weren't their choices, and Conte is not doing that. I think he's fantastic, but he's getting fucked around, isn't he? So,
But here's the
ain't
thing:
gonna
is I
last.
was so excited when we hired Conte
Me
as
too,
well,
man. I
because
thought surely
we
they
got rid of
can't fuck
Nuno.
this.
Yeah,
Surely they can't
Yeah.
fuck him around. No way.
I thought for sure, because I thought the fans forced them into sacking Nuno and bringing in Conte and giving him the assurances that we did not give him over the summer that caused him to reject us during that
Right.
70-day
So,
fuck
so
fest.
did we lie to him to get him to come, or what? You know what I
I
mean?
guess
Like,
so. I guess
I
we were
think
like,
he
here's a
fucked him.
fucking carrot. Here's a carrot. Go get the carrot.
And
And now
they've
he's
done.
fucking like, bro, you said you were going to give me the carrot by now, and we're still fucking chasing it.
They've done the bare minimum to keep him here so far. Bare minimum. And I think January will be the straw that breaks the camel's back. I mean, he's coming in, no one.
Uh-oh.
let's just let Ryan Mason be coach.
I think we
Here's
lost Paul.
here's
Oh,
the worst
hello.
part, though. As long as we have ENIC, we can't even choose to just like youth project and rebuild, because he
No, because they don't
needs,
give a shit about the academy either.
because they don't give
No,
a shit
they
about
don't.
the academy, and also because he wants that European football revenue, which means we're going to be stuck in this fucking cycle of chucking money at random ass players and random managers trying to just maintain a spot.
Unless
fourth
he
or
can
sixth.
pull, bring Poch back, right? Just hear me out. Bring Poch back.
I
Have
hate bringing the
Poch
Poch back.
here
I
for a
hate
long
it.
time.
I
Have
think
your
that's
phone.
exact. I think he's going to try and bring him back, but I don't
Me
know
too.
if it'll work. And
So
I
I
don't
mean, that'll
know.
just show you the whole thing's bullshit then, won't it? I mean, you know.
And
It
around
really
and
will.
around
Do you know
we'll
what the
fucking
problem
go.
is? Do you know what the problem is, though? Some fans actually do want Poch back. They're so deluded and stupid. They think that's going to be the answer. I don't really understand people, honestly.
I think they just want it for the
He'll-
vibes. I don't think they think success. I don't know.
How
I'm
Well,
not
is
gonna
this
he'll
speak
come
team
for
back
them.
and he's
supposed
got
to
the-
play Pochettino football? How
He's
is
got the
that
same-
supposed to happen?
He's got the same shit players he left with.
The
And they
same
were
ones
his
that
fucking-
fucking ratted him out and got
Yeah.
him fucking fired, and they down
That's
tooled for
right.
him.
Right, and they were his fucking reserves, but we started letting go of our first 11 that was decent.
And doesn't anyone not know? You don't take your ex back. You don't. You split up for a reason, man. You don't take someone back. That's going backwards. You don't do
Mhm.
that.
Mm-hmm.
And then Ben
You should-
Davies, oh, can you sack this manager, please, Mr. Levy? I don't like him. Okay, Ben. And as soon as the players know that they can do that, every manager is fucked because the manager hasn't got his authority. And it's the only way football can work is if the manager
Well-
is the boss.
So we'd be in a better position for the manager to be the boss if we had more than one player that was, starting quality at each position, because so many players know they're going to play every week regardless of the performance that they put in. You know what I mean? So a lot of that then comes down to, I guess, the board for not spending money. Because we really, if you look at every other top team, they've got covered. And I mean,
Well, it's
we
like,
don't.
Fuck
You
it,
know,
let's
like-
get Glenn Hoddle. I like Wayne Francois. Big up Wayne Francois for tuning in as well, Mr. Wayne
Whoa,
Francois.
Ray.
You know
I don't-
something? Let me do a check-in real quick with these numbers, because I see 24 votes in the poll, which is awesome because I love it when you guys and gals take part in the poll. But there's only 16 likes, so that to me says there's 8 hating ass motherfuckers. And you know what I say about hating ass motherfuckers on this channel? It's fine, do your thing, but why not just hit the like? Why not just hit the like and have a good day? You could do that. It's very easy. Go ahead and tickle the like, and let's get those numbers. But right now, in the lead, I have the question is North London Derby thoughts. And just club and players not good enough. That's in the lead right now. It looks like second place is I knew it. It hurts. Let's move on. I feel like those are two very solid answers. So I will leave that. Oh, we do have a member of the patron. Should I give him the intro, Colin?
Yeah, baby. Hit it.
We go? Okay, we're going. Got him.
Papa was got it.
Hey guys, you said Poch's name 3 times, so I had to hop on.
Yeah. Hey. Oh, Scott,
But even as I've said, I don't want Poch back. I love him. The football we played under him was the best football I've watched. I love those teams. Everybody talks about how negative and pessimistic I am now. I was the exact opposite. I was the happiest of clappers back then. I predicted us to win the league every year. I thought we were winning everything back then. And now, and even with that, I don't want Poch.
That's your origin story, but I never knew. Now I know why you're the
Damn, Colin, now we know.
Wow.
His heart was broken.
It was.
You
You used to be a good, happy guy, and then Tottenham took that away from you. That's like some villain stuff. Like you could become a super villain.
He's like Professor X over there in Canada right now.
Right.
Well, no, the thing about all of us is we're all
I get it, Scott, for real. Poch's football was so cool. Sorry to cut you off, Ken. My fault.
We're all in an abusive relationship with this football club. That's what it is. We're all at varying degrees of suffering.
I feel like that's something that I realized very early on with this club was that you must be some kind of masochistic in some way. Is it masochistic or am I thinking of a different word?
Joe, what I think we should have our logo should actually be not for the faint-hearted, beware or something like that. Because honestly, this club, I've supported them for so many years since I was a kid. Like the stuff that I've gone through in the 90s with them and everything, man, like it's just shocking, absolutely shocking.
Yeah, I can't imagine having gone through like all the stuff that happened pre-Levy as well as everything that's happened since.
Because that's
Levy.
part of the argument, though, right, Kieran? That's part of the argument is that, like, well, remember where we were before.
No. All right. Well, you see, I was around when I was around when Irving Scholar took over, and that's when it started going to shit. That's when business started taking a precedent over football. Alan Sugar just continued that. You know, you could see as soon as Scholar took over, we'd sell 2 good players and buy 1, or maybe sell 1 good player and buy 1 that wasn't quite as good. Or so as soon as someone got good, he would just be sold for no reason. Like, I don't know, we sold Mickey Hazard at his prime for no reason. And so the business,
Good old Mickey Hazard. He's cool. He's all over Twitter.
Yeah. So the football has just always been the second priority. You know, even though you had people like Sugar that made a personal fortune out of his position as chairman of Spurs, and then we just got Levy, and like nothing they do is from a football perspective. It's no wonder we just there just doesn't seem to be any spirit amongst the players or anything. I'm just so disheartened when I see us play these days. It's just nothing there.
I don't think you're alone in that sentiment, Paul. There is something I did want to talk about because the whole Levy out, ENIC out thing. I mean, it's unfortunate that everyone, I feel like everyone's talking about it nonstop, and it's quite nauseating at times, if I'm honest. But I did real quick want to just throw out, because Paul, you were talking about Sugar Allen, whatever, all this shit. I don't know nothing about all that, so I don't really talk about stuff that I don't know about. So I'm glad that you're able to share that. But when it comes to Levy, there was some quote that I've read from them. Essentially, when they took over, they said, "We're here for the business and the financial aspect, and not the football." And that was 22 years ago. So I honestly feel like the time to be super, super fucking pissed about the direction of the club was looking at them whenever they took over 22 years ago. yes, there should be some kind of change now, which it sounds like there might be with Joe Lewis getting old, I guess.
His
Maybe he
old
did have to
ass.
stand up and walk off of his yacht in the Bahamas. He might have had to get off of the yacht at one point, but
That would piss me off too
Well,
if I had to
you-
get off my end.
And I think the fans were at one point starting to turn against Levy earlier,
This
back
is
in
true.
the day, a little bit. But what saved him was Pochettino. I think
Absolutely.
people were upset after selling. I think people were upset when he sacked Martin Yule at halftime. I think people were upset when
that's crazy. How many
he
times has
sold
that
Pitt.
happened in the history?
Of Premier League football. I have no idea. I don't know if it's the only time, but I mean that.
I'm about to Google that. Keep talking. I'm
I
sorry,
mean,
Kane.
so he sacked Martin Yule at halftime, and then you got to remember he sold Bale. Well, he sold. He didn't back Harry Redknapp. He sold Bale. The Sol Campbell thing. All these things that have happened under Levy. There was a lot of. I think there was a lot of anger towards him, but what saved him was Pochettino, and he had no idea Pochettino would do what he did with the players that he had. It was all a lot of, dumb luck, hard work by Pochettino, and, Harry Kane coming through the academy, and also, some of the scouting of directors of football that we had, and were all subsequently,
I think
sacked
it's the only one.
or resigned because they didn't want to work with, Levy anymore. So,
Can I just say, right? We cannot blame the Judas on what happened. He promised he was going to stay. He said he was going to stay, and he decided to leave. That's nothing on Levy. That was actually because Judas is an absolute see you next Tuesday. So
Well,
let's
that's
just
true.
get that straight.
That's true. I'm not saying that
I
I
understand.
personally
Listen,
blame him. I'm saying
can I
that
just-
there are people that do. That's all.
I
I'm saying.
understand. Like, if we obviously, I'm a reason. I try and be quite reasonable, and I think that a lot of people are quick to just blame him for every single little thing. So they're going to blame Sol Campbell on him as well. Like, that's silly, isn't it? Now that's getting to a point
Well-
of being, that's a bit silliness, because at the end of the day, he promised he'd sign a contract. He didn't sign the contract, and then he was a Judas and went over to the scum. So that's nothing they couldn't control him because he refused to sign the contract when he said that he would sign the contract.
But he
So
also didn't sign the contract because he wanted an opportunity to win things, and Levy wasn't building a team that would build things, would win
That's
things.
the
Right?
argument. Yeah.
Like I don't think so. I don't think that certainly isn't top of my list of blaming Levy.
Me either.
Is him leaving? Like you're right. He was awful. He deserves all the crap that he gets because he's a piece of shit. But you can say that the reason he left was because he wanted to go to a club where he could win, and Levy, as the chairman, built a club at Tottenham where he couldn't win.
Well, that's kind of why Bale and Modric left too. Am I right?
Yeah, of course.
well, at
They wanted
thing
to
is,
So many
at the-
players.
I-
Kyle
I
Walker
am
left to
Madrid.
win trophies.
But don't
know?
forget, at the time where we put positionally where we were as a club, like we were down in that position where we weren't getting European football, and it wasn't like it was a bit of a funny situation because we've always been a club that sold our players. If you look at all the players that we've sold to, like Man United, we've sold like a lot of players onto Madrid, but that was what we were back then. We were a bit of like a selling club in that way, and we have been for a while, and that's obviously something that because of where we were as a club, because obviously when you're in that position, people want to go to a club that's higher, like the next level, the next step up.
Yeah, it's
And that-
necessary. It's necessary at that level. And that changed with Pochettino. Levy didn't plan it to change. It happened because Pochettino took this team to the next level. And then Levy had to react. And everything he's done is always reactive. It's always just doing the bare minimum thing he can and reacting to whatever the manager is able to do and the players are able to do. It's
I think
there's no proactive plan or proactive investment in the team or proactive structuring of the club and the footballing style and identity that he talks about us having that we don't really have anymore because there's no consistency in that. There's nothing being taught to the players in terms of a specific football style in the academy either. So
It's like the worst thing Levy, I think, has done in recent years is those 3 transfer windows when we didn't buy anyone.
Yeah.
And I think in his mind, he thinks that you save money by doing that, but you don't, because when you start spending again,
Joe Lewis tickled his bum a little bit more for it.
You have to catch up what you didn't spend, because those shit players are still there. You can't just say, "Oh, we haven't spent 100 million for 2 years. Now we'll just have a gap and we'll spend 100 million again." No, you've got to catch up the money you didn't spend, and then guess what? Players are more expensive now, so you fucked up twice there.
Yep. Buy cheap, buy twice. You know,
That's it,
all
man.
that is.
I mean,
Buy
but
cheap,
even
my
if we
mum
were
used to
good,
say,
but if
dude.
we were good at this tactic that y'all are talking about, where we buy players and we ship them off and make a little profit off of them, why didn't we spend the extra $6 million on Jack Grealish and sold him for $100 million to City a couple seasons later? I really feel like if we were any good at any aspect of any argument that says we've done something positive, there's always so much counter argument to that. I do think the stadium's cool, but like I've also heard a lot of fans say they'd rather play at the old White Hart Lane and have good football back as opposed to having this big fancy stadium.
A lot of fans think that's the team that's. Sorry, no, you go ahead. I cut you off. Yeah, go ahead.
Can I just say, right, that's bullshit, because you know what? If we didn't have at that stadium and we were financially behind, because obviously that stadium's a lot smaller, etc., people will be saying, "Oh, we're not financially keeping up with everybody else." Everybody does things in hindsight, so everybody's okay to retrospectively criticise and say, "Well, actually, no, you can't do it retrospectively because that's ridiculous." At the end of the day, if we didn't keep up with people with financially by getting the biggest stadium because we need more seats to get more bums in, to get more money, then people wouldn't be happy. They'd say, "Oh, we're just being left behind." So you can't say, like, I think people are silly to say that. They're just being like a bit kind of silly and facetious because you're just doing it because, the Levy thing. But come on, you've got to be realistic in football. It is financially based. It is. And we have to keep up with that.
I agree with you completely, Mia. I think there's nothing wrong with the stadium itself. I think it was absolutely necessary if we were choosing to go to the next level and start to compete like a big club. The problem is you can't use the stadium, which is structured in long-term debt with low interest, to then use that as an excuse to not buy players in the transfer window. I'm not
trying to use it as an excuse, but I'm trying to say
I'm not saying that you did. I'm saying Daniel Levy did. What's inexcusable is because it wasn't an excuse. We had the funds. He could have spent them. He chose not to. It's not that he would have been putting the club in a dangerous financial position. And all of this stuff about you don't want to do a Leeds, you don't want to do this, it's impossible. Tottenham is now too big of a brand, of a commercial product, that Tottenham will not fail, and neither will any of the top 6 clubs. The Premier League is structured now to where everything's weighted at the top, and the biggest clubs that bring in the most revenue and the most attention are the ones that are honestly too big to fail. So even if Tottenham ever ended up in a really precarious financial position, outside investment would just come in and shore it up so it can keep running. Look at what Barcelona's done in Spain. I mean, they, by all intents and purposes, they should be out of business right now, but they're not, because somebody's always.
Is it fair to compare two different countries though? Because I feel like the rules would be different. No.
Well, I mean, I think that's.
I'm just throwing that out there. I don't know for a fact.
That's correct. I think it's an extreme
because Spain, Real Madrid is like owned by the government. So
even look at here, like Everton is being run about as badly as you could be run. Like they're being run horribly, and everybody uses them as a threat. They kind of flirted with relegation last year, but they ended up finishing like 5 points ahead of someone, didn't they? Like that and that's the worst like way you could be run. Everton, no, I'm saying Everton last year. Right?
But Everton,
and they're the ones like, we have to watch out. You don't want to do an Everton.
And Everton
finished 5 points ahead of the relegation stage.
And Everton don't bring in
worst case scenario, and they're not even as big as us.
Yeah, they don't bring anywhere near as much revenue or as
No.
attention or sales as Tottenham.
But-
Tottenham is much bigger
Like,
than
they're-
Everton.
But
Yeah, they-
Everton have actually got owners that have got a lot of money, and look what happens when you chuck money away and do dumb shit with your club, because now they're stuck with the FFP. So do not get it twisted. Everton have fucked it up. They've got a lot of money because their owners got a lot of money. However, they fucked it, and they done it the completely
They've
wrong
done
way.
it
And
the
that
worst
shows.
way ever, and they're not
They
even
have.
getting into
Well,
relegation,
there's
so
a-
we don't have to
Someone
worry
who's
about
There's a
done things
balance.
not the wrong way, who's done things the right way, you might say. It's Batman. How you doing,
Thank you.
C-Cubed? I can't hear you if you're talking.
You're muted, cute.
No, she's not muted, but she's. We don't hear you.
No.
Sorry to interrupt everyone, but oh, there she goes. She's gone. But Israel's Uncovered is here. Big up. Go subscribe to Israel Uncovered if you haven't already. He is uncovering Israel, so to speak.
Talking about, I'm gonna have to go because my phone is literally burning. StreamYard on my phone, do not get on. It makes my phone
it
burn
makes it
like
very
mad.
hot. Yeah. Same
So
with
I
my
better
iPhone
go.
as well. Mia, good morning. I hope you have a great rest of your day.
you.
When are you posting next to your YouTube channel? And I'm pulling it up.
I'm actually going live
Yeah.
today at 7 o'clock UK time for the first time because I've got my 100 subscribers.
Hit your hundo.
Yeah, so I'm going live. I'm quite nervous and excited at the same time. All right, it could go all completely wrong, but it's okay. I've
Nah,
got
you'll be
Jack
fine, man.
and Dave hopefully there to back me up as well. So
Oh, they're going to be on with you? That's a good pair to
Yeah,
have with
they
you.
could- yeah, that's what I thought. I've got the security blanket of the two that I know are professionals compared to me. So if anything goes wrong, at least I've got them around.
You're at 113 now. Come on. There
Yep.
is the link in the chat. You can click it. It should open a new window for you. Go check out Mia. She's going live in about 14 hours from now. So,
Yep, something like that.
well, good luck, Mia. Hopefully, I'm able to
Thank you.
tune into the live. If not, I will catch it on replay. But thank you for being here as always.
Otherwise,
Go check out Mia at Spurs Between the Lines.
thank you for having me on.
Big up, Mia.
Of course, Mia. Have
And
a
of
good
course,
rest of your
and
day.
Jacob, you're
Best
going to
of
be one of the
luck,
next.
Mia.
You're going to be one of the next on my list to have on as well, because obviously we've got to sort out times with the time difference. So
Yeah,
I'd love to have you on.
Well, you got the digits, so let's make it happen. I would love to make a feature when you're doing some lives, for
Cool.
sure. Let's plan it out.
Right, see you guys later. Take care, everybody.
All right, take care.
Bye-bye.
Have a good
Bye.
day.
Bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
Cubes, how you doing? You're muted now.
Oh, okay,
Um,
finally. I can
hello.
hear you guys. That was so strange. I don't know why I couldn't hear you all.
Yeah, that was strange. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. There's one less person on here.
Yeah, Mia had to go. Yeah, her
Oh,
phone was on
man.
fire.
Oh, that's a bummer because last time I went on this pop-up, I
Oh,
was
yeah, you
really
were-
excited
Oh,
to
yeah.
be able to talk to
remember
another female on a stream and talk to Mia. And definitely wanted to talk to her about some of her views and some of the things that she was saying. And she left right before I hopped on. And then it happened again now.
That's two for
So,
two.
2 for 2.
That is
So
2 for 2.
Mia out
Interesting.
there, I look forward to
She's going
being
live. She's going live
on
for the
another
first time.
pop-up with you at some point.
Let's make it happen. First question. I don't know why this one's still on my mind because I'm still thinking about Hugo. Who are you starting on versus Man City, Hugo or Forrester?
Are you
I was asking you,
asking me?
Cubes.
okay?
Yeah, I need to get you and I need to get Scott. Well, actually, Scott already answered. He said no, fuck Forrester. So I just
No,
need your
I'm
answer.
starting Hugo.
Okay.
Because I know. Okay, so here's the thing about Hugo. I know he really fucked up. Okay, we all know that. It is what it is, right? He fucked up. Not the first time that he's fucked up this season. He had a really big stinker against Newcastle. I remember earlier this season. That being said, Forster has played 2 games this season. One of them he stank it up, The other one, he was decent. So right now, it's not like all 2 of the games were it was amazing. So I don't feel like I have the faith in him yet. Like
Mia
he's
says
proved
sorry.
out that he would be a better option than Hugo.
Mia says sorry. Her phone gets too hot and she needs to do boring mom things because it's early in the morning. And Ellie, where is the link? It is pinned at the top. I will post it in the chat right now for you, Queen Hoybier. Queen Ellie Hoybier.
Cheers, Ellie. It's been
Always
forever.
a treat. Yeah, always
Lovely
a treat
lady,
to have
Ellie.
Mrs. Ellie. Sorry, continue with what you're saying.
Oh, just that I would start Hugo. I mean, I don't think Forster is. I think Forster is very clearly a backup, like in case of emergency. Goalie,
It's an emergency.
like he should actually have written on him,
We
in
are
case of emergency. In case
We are
of emergency.
currently in an emergency. It is an emergency. Red alert.
No, I mean, yeah, that's true, but not. I wouldn't say that. I mean, he's like a fire extinguisher in the glass. Got to break the glass. We are in an emergency, but Man City, I think we can start.
Yeah, it's the same thing I said with Son. I don't mind the idea of sitting Son. I don't mind the idea of sitting Hugo. But when the options are so terrible behind him, then I don't see the point. And that's the main problem I have here, isn't that I think that Hugo should be able to automatically just keep his place with all the mistakes. But when you don't have quality behind him, I just think that it's making us worse to solve the problem, and I don't like that idea, making us worse to try to solve a problem.
But Forrester is very large.
Yeah, I was gonna say he might be able to counter some of Holland's size. I don't think he's got much aerial ability though, Holland. I could be wrong. I don't know. Maybe Forrester would be good against
Israel, you buy me a plane ticket, I'll be there, buddy.
That's my counter arguments. Just that.
Hey, I've got to go now. So thanks for having me on. Thanks for the chat, folks.
Paul, pleasure,
Paul.
man. Thank you for
See you,
popping
Paul.
up with Jacob.
Big up, Paul.
Cheers, folks.
Hey,
Come on, you
have a good
Spurs.
Come
Yeah.
on, you Spurs.
Have
There
a
you
good
go,
have a good
Paul.
one, man. Be good.
And then there were 5.
I've started telling people to be good when I say bye now.
Be good. I mean,
good.
that's nice. Like, yeah, be good. Why not? Be good. Do good. Preach good. There's actually this right here. Full Bull says, we'll sell Kane for 70 mil, spend it on Anthony Gordon, Morata, Rabiot, and Maguire.
Oh, God. No. That is the most Spurs thing ever. Oh, wow.
I would not be surprised when we're talking about the City
Morata.
game coming up. I would not be surprised if we pull, like I was saying earlier, we pull 6 points off them and help Arsenal. That'd be so Spursy of us. Especially if Arsenal end up winning the league by, say, 6 points. Or 5.
I mean, I just don't see how we can sell Kane. I think the only team that might go in for him would be Man U. I mean, he's not going to leave England because he won't share his record, so he might be stuck here.
I think that the other thing about Kane is that previously I thought, maybe Man United because they lost Ronaldo, but Marcus Rashford, he's on form, and he's younger and he's looking good. So I think that Kane might not be able to swing that anymore with his age, and so.
But they're playing Rashford on the wing, aren't they?
Yeah, but he has enough goal contributions for them to be like, hey, this could be. Sometimes he plays striker.
Well, I felt like if they really felt that way, they wouldn't have purchased Weghorst or Veghorst, whatever his name is. Big old.
Yeah, but then, but that's exactly the thing. So they're purchasing Weghorst to be like, whatever Rashford sort of alternate or playing with him kind of situation. But then they would go and get Kane, who's like way older and like
just sell Weghorst,
yeah, it doesn't make any sense. So I think that
did they buy Weghorst or did they just loan him from Burnley?
I think they bought him.
I think they bought him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't think I don't think that Kane is. I'm not. I think that Kane is more likely to go than Son is, but I don't think that Kane has a lot of options.
No,
I think they're both
see
stuck here
Kane to
now.
United.
Unless-
Look at this
unless-
formation. Look at this real quick. They have Martial there playing up top. You don't think that they'd rather have Kane up there with? I mean, he's the best striker in the world. He's England's #1 striker.
I think they would take Kane.
I
don't
could
know
see
if
it.
he'll go. This goes back to what Kieran was saying earlier, though, right? About Levy being so lucky. He got lucky with Poch. He got lucky with Kane. He really got lucky with Son. Like, when they bought him, there's no way you can tell me they thought that Son was going to.
Well, that was Paul Mitchell, wasn't it?
Yeah, like
that was Paul Mitchell
what I mean?
who got Son. So
they didn't expect him to be a Golden Boot winner, this level of player, when they bought him. And now they've had Kane and Son for so long, and Son's not leaving because whatever reason. And Kane's like, if Kane, what makes sense for Kane really, if he didn't care about anything, he would go to Bayern. Like, Bayern's a perfect fit. When Lewandowski left, he would go to Bayern, but he doesn't want to leave England, right? So we're so lucky that he doesn't want to leave England, and it seems like he doesn't even want to leave London because of his kids. So we might get lucky there. Like, this is another time where we get so lucky. We don't do quality things. We don't run our club properly, but we luck out because Kane decides that he doesn't want to leave England. He doesn't want to leave London. So then he stays at our club for that reason. Not because
well, he was going to be fine
speaking
to
of
move
doing
to
things
Manchester
well,
if it was for City,
I want to welcome in.
Yeah.
It's Queen Ellie Hoybier.
Lovely Queen Ellie.
What's going
What up,
on?
Ellie?
Yeah, hi.
How you doing? Good
Good
morning.
I'm all right. I've got to speak a bit lower so I don't wake up my daughter. Otherwise, I'm a dead woman.
Oh no, yeah, be
We'll
careful.
try to not get
we
you
love you. We
too.
don't want you to die.
Yeah, I'll try to not get you too worked up over
Do you know
anything.
what? I've nearly been killed many times by my children.
Well, we won't say anything mean about Hoiberg until they wake up already, and you know we know you get
Oh
pretty.
no, yeah,
You'll
and your
defend your
Hoybier
man.
protects me.
Ellie, I do want to
yeah.
ask you the first question. I have two questions I want to ask you, but the first one
Yeah,
is going to be a
go for
quick,
it.
and easy one. Man City, who are you starting, Forster or Hugo Papi Lloris?
Oh, that's a hard one.
Yeah,
Do you know what? I would actually play Forster, and I'll tell you why. Because Lloris has to be not punished, but he has to be shown that you can't perform like that and then expect to keep your place. Because he basically dropped it in the net.
He pushed it into the net. Let's be honest.
Yeah,
He
pushed it into the net. Like, was he
pushed it
paid
in
or
the
something? Did the Arsenal insider pay him some dollars?
It was
know,
like
it's just-
I said it earlier, Ellie. I don't know if you heard my rant, but I said there's literally so many people around him that there's just one place to not put the ball, and it was to his left. And when the ball hit him, he hit it to his left, and it was just like,
I know.
I don't understand. That's our
And that's
captain.
That's not the only gaff that he's made. He's made so many this season, and he's always been played apart from one game where he was dropped. But that wasn't even because he was dropped. It's because I think he was coming back from the World Cup. Yeah, and he needed another few days rest. I don't know why. Why would you give another player? Nobody else rested apart from Lloris. I think Romero did as
Hangover.
well, actually.
He had a hangover.
Yeah, do you see what I mean, Colin?
No,
But he needs to be. I know what you mean by that, but yeah, I just think he
Well, no,
needs
Romero was rested, and
Yeah, that's what I just said.
they played the same amount of games at the World
Yeah.
Cup because he got to the
Yeah.
final, and then
But he's been
Lloris
done-
in a
he's been
general
a week
in a
doing
general
some
situation.
debauchery.
Lloris has played the most games of anybody, right? Because he's been playing like every game up
Yeah,
until the World
true.
Cup, and then during the World Cup he played every game. So then,
Yeah.
and
See, he
so
hasn't
other
even
than
been
that one
punished,
break,
has he, CQ? He hasn't been
Other than
punished
that
for
one
his
game.
errors.
Forster's
Yeah, but
only
he's-
played 3 games. He played against Middlesbrough. He played against He played against Bournemouth, and he played against in that FA Cup game we just played.
Forest.
Nottingham Forest.
Yeah.
When did we play Middlesbrough? We didn't play
Nottingham was
Middlesbrough
Carabao.
this season.
He only played
He
two
did play
games.
Carabao versus Nottingham.
Oh yeah.
Nottingham Forest,
played
but
two
we didn't
games.
play Middlesbrough.
No, that was
we
last
played last
season.
season.
That was
Yeah,
last
he played-
season. I was thinking
no.
Forest. Yeah,
He
Forest.
played two
Yeah,
games.
Forest,
and
that's it.
He was.
Yeah.
He played two games, and he was
In Portsmouth.
actually.
And Portsmouth.
He was.
That's what it was.
That's
Forest,
it,
Yeah.
Portsmouth, and Bournemouth.
Yeah, he didn't have much to do against Portsmouth, to tell you the truth. But you've got to give him a try, because even though people think he's not as good as Lloris, I think
Brentford, not Bournemouth.
he can
Brentford.
offer something different, you know. And if he doesn't make any gaffes, and he is a good shot stopper, you know, he's competent, the goalkeeper.
He hasn't made any mistakes.
There was something Cube was going to
goals
say.
in
I
it.
Really?
felt like she kept getting stepped over. Cube, was there something you were trying to say?
Well, I think that Forster had a stinker. In
He's a poo-poo.
one of his games. Yeah, I mean, he's
Yeah,
played
he
3
did.
games, and he's had like a stinker, and then he had a decently good game. And for me, I felt like, and then, I mean, go back to the receipts. People were just railing about how Forster is shit, and he's ass, he's horrible, da-da-da. And I was like, and I was actually like, dude, the guy hasn't even played for like the entire season. So I don't think that you should come on too hard on him. And then also when he has a decent game, they shouldn't come on too hard on him either. He just he hasn't really played that much to like definitively be like, okay, yeah, like I think that he's going to probably be better than Hugo, or that he's going to be that much worse. But what I do know is that he hasn't been proven in the same way. So Hugo, I know he messed up. I know he messed up really big, but it's not like we have, you know, a keeper on the bench that's like much more proven, and it's like a lot better. I mean, everybody is talking about, and I'm not about to go and like get on the, you know, defend Lloris train. I hate it when I have to like feel like I'm talking and defending like players that I don't want to because they mess up. But I am going to say that Hugo has cost us, but he also has saved us in games as well. This season,
Yeah, he kept us in the Crystal Palace game that we won 4-0.
Yeah.
That first
Yeah.
half,
He
there
also
was
he was
great saves. Yeah,
he was the best
He made
player.
a great save in the
only-
match the other day.
The
Yeah, he
Manchester United game, he was the only player on the pitch who was a good player for us, and he made it so that we were not going to be as embarrassingly losing in that
We
Manchester
should have
United
lost
game.
6-0 on that.
That was his best game of the season.
I forgot about that.
So
But
my
at
point
the
is
same
like-
time, he also leads the league in errors leading to goals.
I
He
know,
also
but
has
that's
the most goals out of
know,
any
but-
goalkeeper right now. He
but
scored one.
My point is just that, like, I know he has a lot of errors, but it's not like we have an adequate replacement right now. It's like
See,
we
I
have.
think
He
Who's
saved
that
us.
Irish kid?
He's
Who's that
also,
Irish
he's
kid?
also
I think
cost
people are
us.
being way
Throw
too
him
hard
in.
on Fraser Forster. I mean, I think he showed at Southampton that he's a decent Premier League keeper. I mean, is he a top 4 keeper? No. But I don't think it's about benching Lloris. I think it's about taking Lloris out for a game or two so he can
He's
just
the
like.
reason Southampton fucked us up last season.
Yeah, I think
Was 'cause of him.
Forster's had several big games in his career, and he's played in the Champions League before. You know, he's
beat us at
played in
home,
big
if
games.
I
He's got a
remember
lot of
right.
experience. He's
I've
better
got one to
than
make you laugh.
Joe Hart. You know, I think you just
Fuck
I
Joe
think
Hart.
we just
I fucking hate Joe Hart.
pull Hugo out for 1 or 2 games. Let Forster get in. I think he'd be fine. I don't think he's going to make a howler.
Yeah, fuck
You know,
Joe
yeah,
Hart.
he might not make the spectacular saves that Lloris does all the time, but
He might not have to. With his positioning, he might not
Exactly.
even have to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's right. He's a.
Oh, he won't even
the
get
thing
close
about
enough to the ball to do it. That's the
well, the thing about Forster is he's a confident keeper. And because he's huge, he'll come out and he'll get up and he'll claim balls, and he's aggressive. You know, he's aggressive. He's not as passive as Lloris, and I think that I think it wouldn't be bad at all to let him get 1 or 2 games just to pull Lloris out of the heat and let him then bring him back in. I'm not saying like
play him if we play him in the city.
Rest
game,
him
sure.
a couple games. You know.
Play him in
I've
the
got
city
one
game.
that'll make you laugh. Like, why don't we play Jacob and put him on Haaland and play Lloris? There's your solution. Because he's not going to get anything out of Jacob, because Jacob can just jump as high as Haaland. There you go, Jacob, you're in. I'll put you in our team.
Honestly, I think I would do at least as good as Eric Dyer. And that's
Course
saying
you would.
something because I'm
That is
extremely
not
out
hard.
of shape. Yeah.
It doesn't
can be
matter.
like-
So is Eric Dyer. He can't turn. He can't turn. At least you're young and virile. You can turn. Oof.
Eric Dyer's only 29.
Yeah,
He's younger than I am.
He's quite old for a footballer. He's coming to his twilight years.
Yeah,
Plus,
he's
29 for Eric Dyer is like 39 for him, because he can't turn.
Send him to
If we added
Bournemouth.
Jacob, we'd finally be
Yeah,
doing some
or
business.
QPR.
If you would have just hit that guy in the stands, everything, he'd be so much cooler of a person in my book. He'd be not really, but he'd be remembered. He'd be a legend because he'd be that crazy guy that punched the dude who but he didn't even hit him, so he'll never.
Yeah, how are you going to charge up in the stands and then just yell at the guy?
Yeah, at least push him over.
At least commit assault. That's what I'm saying. Scott, what were you saying? I didn't hear what you said.
I said at least if we added Jacob to the team, we'd finally be doing some business this transfer window.
Yeah,
That's true, and I'd be
It'd be a free
really
transfer.
cheap. I'd be a real
Free.
cheap sell too, because they'd be like,
yeah. You're the
No, he wants some
all-American
money.
boy.
He needs a little bit of money. Let's be honest.
no, you give me a signing bonus. I'm good with that. I'll take a signing
Yeah.
bonus. There is another matter I did want to talk about, but folks, it is pretty late. Queen Ellie, I do want to ask you a couple questions, and
Yeah, go
Hughes
on.
as well, and Scott. Where's Pierre? Queen Ellie,
Pierre Højbjerg.
where's he
He
at?
got a lot of rap, right? But he did the best ball. He did the best ball to Harry Kane in that first half, and he glanced headed it, but Ramsdale was equal to it.
That was a very, very good.
That was a
very
beautiful
good
ball.
opportunity. Yeah.
Right, the thing is, right, he was overrun, and Pape Sarr he played okay, but he's a rookie. He needed someone else to help him out, because then it's not fair, right, to judge him when Conte only plays two in the middle, right? Because he's doing another two men's job. Because really, we should have four in the middle, because the wing backs don't tuck in, and they're not intelligent enough to cover the space. Because there was massive gaps in our midfield, and it's not all Pierre's fault. You've got to put the blame on the whole team. You can't blame one player, and he always gets the rap, right? But I personally don't think he played that well, but it wasn't all his fault. You can't put it all on his shoulders.
Could it be because there was a point that I think Paul brought up maybe an hour ago at this point. He brought up that Spurs, he's used to watching a creative mid, and we don't really have that. And Højbjerg's been here the longest, and he doesn't look to be that Dembele type.
He's
Could
not.
that be?
No.
Could that be what it is? Just people's expectations?
What we should do, we should buy a Dembele type to play with him.
We thought we
Because
did
when
with
Dembele
Ndombele.
played,
Well, that's sort of how Bentancur's been playing. He's been
Yeah,
that guy that can move the ball up the field and wriggle past a defender or two and then let go of the ball. Sort of like not exactly like Dembele, but the same principle.
Yeah, we've always traditionally had a hard player in midfield, like we've had Graham Roberts, Steve Perriman. We've always
Sandro,
had
remember Sandro?
Yeah, Sandro was a hard man. Wanyama. We've always had a stopper. You need those type of players. Højbjerg will offer you that, but you need a creative as well. I was a creative midfielder, Jacob, and it unlocks
You mean
defences.
you are one?
Yeah,
I still
am,
think you're
but-
creative, Ellie.
Yeah, but the thing is, you need a creative as well, because you need someone who's going to unlock the defences, who's going to play more passes than Højbjerg can play, because he can do a killer pass, We've seen it. We've seen it against Leeds United last season. He did a fantastic ball to Kane, lobbed it right onto his foot, and he scored that brilliant volley. Right, so he has got it in his locker.
There was a beautiful cross that he laid onto Harry Kane.
It was brilliant.
Harry Kane almost turned into a goal. But
We nearly turned it into a goal. But we do need the creative, the one a bit like Eriksen, Modric, who can unlock defences more.
Yeah,
and create more chances.
Like a James Madison.
Well, I was thinking like a Modric, like a Milinkovic-Savic, like a Barella.
Yeah.
What does he say about
like a Frank Lampard?
Maybe Sarr can be that player.
He could do, but I don't think
19.
he's experienced enough yet. He can develop into that type of player.
I was so impressed with him against Arsenal. Like, it's insane now. I know that we got
too
overrun.
hyped, though. Are we too hyped? Or
No,
is it justified?
I think, to be honest, considering
How hyped are you?
I think you should be hyped that like he has the potential to develop into a really good player. That's what we should be hyped about.
I think he's good enough.
He's not
Wasn't
there
this the
yet.
same hype that we
He's
all
good
had
enough to
about
be a
Oliver
rotation
Skip?
option right now.
Yeah, a rotation option now, and he hopefully will develop into a very good midfielder in about 2 or 3 years.
I just hope they don't try to make him put on a bunch of weight because he just doesn't need it. He's not that type of player. Like, his lankiness.
No, he's a very elegant player. He keeps it safe. He keeps the ball running. I just need him to develop a little bit more with his passing to cut through a defence. Do you know what I mean? That'll come because he's got the attributes, the boy.
He's working with Yaya Toure one-on-one on the training pitch. Yeah. So I have full faith that he can. If he keeps being coached by him, he'll grow into a good player.
Yeah, Traore was fantastic signing for us in the back room. Yeah,
that'd be a nice one. C Cubed, you came on for a short and sweet little. I don't know why I was gonna say debutante, but that's like not the right word. It's getting late for everybody. Do you have any final thoughts before you leave us, my friend?
Well, actually, I had asked you in the chat. You didn't answer me, Jacob. Which choice did I make in the poll?
Ooh, the poll. If you haven't yet, vote on the poll, and then while you're there, hit the like as well. Hit the like on the video. It will definitely help this. If you're watching it on replay, hit the like on this video. It'll definitely help the algorithm.
Show us the results.
Let's see.
results time.
All right. In first place with 46% of the votes, club and players not good enough. Knew it hurt. Let's move on with 35%. Second place. Also, my initial thoughts for C Cube's answer. The third place is it's the fans' fault cause ... It depends on the mood that C Cube is in. She might feel sarcastic enough to have clicked that one as well. And the last one, in last place, Conte let us down. Tactics not wet. So I'm going to say, knew it hurt, let's move on.
Nope. That's the second time you've gotten it wrong, Jacob. Man, you're losing your touch. You're losing that touch. Just like how our fans react all the time. It's like one bad game, and it's like you're the worst ever, and you're losing your touch.
It's gone.
It's gone.
I'm not
You're never
world-class
coming
anymore.
back. You're finished.
One
You're
bad
finished.
game.
You're
Yeah, you're getting
absolutely
pretty old
finished.
for someone to guess answers. You know what I mean? Like your best answer guessing days are behind you, dude. It's about time to maybe a pundit. You could be a pundit for guessing answers. But
We should sing it as a song, CQ.
My commercial value
One
is too
bad
high.
game.
We should
One
look to
bad
move
game.
Jacob on in the summer.
I'm going to
Somebody
get booted off my own
we
damn show.
need somebody younger and fresher and
Great, we
Pop
got
up with-
Michael. He's going to come in and replace him. He's been grooming to take
Oh my
over the
gosh.
guessing.
That is true. He is my little
pop up
Richarlison.
with Michael.
He is.
I can
It
even-
doesn't have the same
Papa,
ring. It doesn't have the same ring to it. It's not the same ring. Come on.
Papa, we
I had a
just
question. I had a
Convicted
question.
already.
I had a question. So even though everything sucks, I can guarantee, right? Just as a sort of a question statement, But all you guys are going to be supporting the boys. All you guys are going to, be in full force, watching and supporting and being. I don't know. It's just like we all got to make sure that we're here for the team and for each other. And I don't know. We can't only support the team in the good times. And I know you guys all know that. But we're in this for the long haul. Things will get better. Everybody, don't worry. It's always darkest before the dawn. Right?
I'm glad that you shared that, although I don't feel the same. But I'm glad that you shared that because I'm
As long
fucking
as we
pissed.
don't stay in the dark.
It's time for a change. I do hope
Don't
the
see the
last part that
light.
you were saying is what happens, Colin. The last part you said, things will get better. I do hope you are spot on there,
It
my
is
friend.
always darkest before the dawn. That's from Batman.
I agree with you as long as they don't have any more 5:30 games, because I don't know how many more 5:30 games I'm waking up for this season.
I fucking
Excuse
hate
me?
5:30 kickoffs.
We're so
They're-
terrible.
Excuse me. Oh, okay. Oh, you're complaining about those? Okay, Miss West Coast girl over here. I have
But
to
you
wake
stay
up
up
at
all
4
night anyways, Cube.
I had to
You're
wake up at
just getting home from the
4:30
bar
a.m.
at that time.
4:30 a.m. I don't want to hear any complaints, y'all.
It's just like
Um,
1 hour. You got home from the bar at 3:30. You just have to stay up an extra hour. It's not too bad.
You know what? Actually, I think
You're
it's,
funny, Scott.
we've been going here for 2.5 hours here on Pop Up with Jacob, and honestly, we could go another 2.5 hours. But I do have it's getting quite late here for me, and I have to wake up early because the boy next door, just a room over from me, that boy's gonna be waking up very soon. So I gotta prepare myself for that. Being a father, if you know what that is. Like, you know
Yeah, I
the
say,
pain,
what's the
you know the struggle.
father?
Yeah, you know the struggle. I mean, even if you have a dog that like needs to take a piss really early, and you have to wake up and like go take, it's similar, but not. It's a little easier. with the dog.
much more involved. Yeah.
But yeah, completely not like that at all.
Yeah, they wee in the nappy, don't they? Or they wee their bed. If
Yeah,
they're-
exactly. Yeah. You don't have to take them for a
You've got
walk.
to change
See,
the
the dog, you
sheets.
can just fucking leave them on the patio and they'll be fine.
Yeah.
Do that with your kid, and all of a sudden CPS is coming.
CPS
Knock,
is a
knock, knock.
coming to arrest you.
And Mia says, I have the dogs and kids. So you got
Oh,
both.
no.
You got double trouble there, Mia.
I've got 2 cats, if that counts.
I have 2
And-
cats also.
But see, cats will leave you
You
alone.
know,
They're pretty. You can go
cats
on a
are
trip
very-
with cats.
they're
Like you can go on a
beautiful.
trip and leave them at home for a week, and they'll be fine. You do that with a dog, and they'll fucking die.
I
So
know.
it's-
Yeah, cats can,
It's true.
they'll find
Cats are
bits
more-
of water, like puddles.
They'll figure it
and-
out. They'll
Yeah,
figure it
cat-
out.
I
Cats are
like
smart.
cats.
Me
I've
too.
got a ginger cat right by me now, and I'm stroking him, and he's loving it.
What's his name?
He's named George after my
Oh.
brother.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, and then I've got his
Ginger
sister.
George.
I've got his sister as well, Colin and Jacob,
That's,
and
my
everybody
cats.
else.
My cats
Thank
are
you.
brothers. My cats are brothers. That's awesome that you got sibling cats as well.
I've got a
Oh.
cat too. Cats are great.
I love
Cats are the
cats. They're so beautiful.
Can I make
I have
a
a-
can I
on
make
my
a hot
YouTube
take
channel, I
here
have a
real
cat- I have
quick?
a
I'm
cat
trying to
wrap
end the
that-
stream, but I do want to say a hot take real quick. I think it's a
Yeah.
coin flip whether you get one of those asshole cats or you get a cool cat.
Yeah.
And
That's true.
every
Sometimes-
cat
sometimes
I've
the
ever
asshole
met,
cats-
it's 50-50.
Sometimes I kind of like the asshole cats. I don't know if what that says
Yeah.
about me as a person, but like sometimes I kind of like the jerk cats.
You know, there's a great movie that talks about the like dynamic and human characteristics. It's just like real lightly. Meet the Parents with Ben Stiller and Robert
Yeah, I
De
love
Niro.
that film.
That where he's, you know, he's talking about having a dog, and Robert De Niro's talking about having a cat. It's a great moment.
That
But
film's
thank you.
brilliant.
I want to thank you all for joining in. Does anyone have
You're
any final
welcome.
thoughts before I end this thing?
Levy
Yeah.
out. ENIC out.
We're gonna get relegated,
Yeah.
guys. Hey, guys, we're gonna get relegated, and then we're gonna get relegated again, and we're gonna get to play AFC Wimbledon.
Ooh,
Honestly, at least if we were in League One, we'd have some fucking soul in this club right now.
And
I've
we're gonna
got
have to
some.
sell the
Looks like
stadium.
there's
We're gonna
none.
have to sell the stadium to West Ham. West Ham's gonna buy our stadium. They're gonna move to North London,
All right, boys. I know we're ending, but I gotta jump. So
Bye,
I'll
Cube.
talk to y'all later,
Good to talk to
boys
you.
and
I was-
Ellie. All right.
I was just
Bye.
trying to be pessimistic because I'm always so optimistic. So
I've got a
Scott's here.
final
You don't have
thought.
to do it.
Well, made me laugh. I enjoyed it.
I've got a
Look,
final thought, guys.
What's up?
Right, this is my final thought. Right, are you ready for it? Right,
Mhm.
give Conte a new contract. Buy him the players that are ready that he wants, not 21-year-olds or 19-year-olds who he doesn't really want because he's not playing Jed Spence, is he? Right, and get rid of the whole lot of the board, the whole lot of them. And I reckon Jacob should take charge because Jacob is the man.
Let's go, Queen Ellie.
Come
Always a
on.
pleasure.
I like that idea.
You just need
That's a
5
great
billion,
final
Jacob.
thought.
You just need 5 billion, and it's yours.
I'll give you one. I'll give you a transfer budget of I don't know how much transfer budget do you guys think Jacob would need to turn the team around?
He doesn't need much because he's just got style and charisma.
Right,
He'll
he
just
can.
10 million,
portray
because
that
all
to
he's
the
doing is
team.
buying
Very
Traore.
nice.
You would sign Traore, everything would be fixed because he would automatically raise
Because he's world class
the
and he
level of
would
the
play
people
at
around
any
him.
position. He would fulfill any role that we need.
He's
and
so
fulfill
fast. He
every
could.
shirt
He's so
sleeve.
fast. He could play more than one position in one game.
Jacob, you could sweet talk the whole team, and they play out of this world for you.
That'd be
Oh,
nice.
They
yeah.
would.
You could do him extra favors.
Jacob for the win. Mia, you got it right.
Jacob.
And that is a great note to end this on. Ellie, thank you. Scott, thank
no
you.
problem. You're welcome.
Kyrian, thank you as always, my friend.
Big
and
up, everybody.
Colin, the cohort himself, the cohort and co-host himself. Thank you so much for being here. It's been another great time of Pop Up with Jacob. Remember, hit that like, hit that subscribe if you haven't already. Does wonders for the channel. We're at 570 some right now, so hit that like, hit that subscribe. On the road to 600, so help us get there. Share this with your mother, your brother.
At
They all
600,
wanna
what are you
watch
gonna
us
do?
get-
Do you have any forfeits or anything for 600?
I don't have anything planned. Maybe the closer we get, we'll talk about it. How about that?
Okay. Yeah, I think we should.
all right. You know what? Let's get there and let's talk about it.
Pop
next
up
time.
to 600.
Also, hit that bell so you can get notified for the next Pop Up with Jacob for this type of show. It's kind of spur of the moment. You get it? You see what I did there? Spur of the moment.
Ooh, and they're exclusive. I like it.
yeah.
If you see it, you get it. If you don't, you missed out. You weren't part of it.
Yeah, and I mean, think about it. Think about the representation on this show tonight. We had Tottenham itself in Queen Ellie. We have Canada. We've got the Saskatchewan himself, Kyrian. We've got the Indiana master himself, Colin. Myself in Texas. Shane from down
Wait,
under.
did you just say I was from Saskatchewan?
Saskatchewan. I don't know.
What?
I
I was
love
trying
saying,
to figure out
I
how
love-
that worked. But
I
No,
love
he's
saying
from
random
Appalachia.
names. Appalachia, that's what it is.
Appalachia.
Appalachia.
It's Appalachia. Like, I'm going to throw a Appalachia. Like, that's how you say it.
But I also want to, like,
Appalachia.
you're like my little Rocky Mountain oyster, you know?
That's
Yeah.
also not the
Appalachia
right mountain
Mountains.
range. That's also incorrect.
You're my Himalayan salt.
Rock salt.
Land.
Now you're on the total opposite side of the planet.
I'm just going to keep it with that one. But I don't even know what the fuck I was saying. Big up
Oh,
yourself.
talking about representation. Yeah, we had people from all
Oh,
over the world.
yeah, we
Shane
had-
from down under.
I didn't
Yeah.
ask where Paul's from, but he sounded like he's from the, you know.
He's Australian.
He's from Australia,
Okay.
too.
He's
yeah.
from down under.
Oh, we
He's
had a
from
lot of
down
that.
under.
A few shrimps on the barbie. I love
my
to
God.
see it.
have
That's a
you not
beautiful
talked
time.
to Paul before?
No, that was my first time interacting
He's
with
got like
him.
a big beard.
Yeah, he's been on
He's
Will's.
been on Will's show.
Oh,
Cool.
okay. I've seen him on Irish too. Yeah, that was.
Okay.
I didn't know
He's
that
a
was
good
him.
Been there, too.
Need to see the
I'm
big
pretty
beard.
sure that's the same guy. He sounds exactly the same. And his name's Paul.
Wow, racist. You think all Australians sound the same?
You know what though? When I've been to America, they think I'm Australian, but I sound London, mate. I'm a Londoner.
American.
I don't sound
We're
Australian.
stupid. Hey,
That's right.
I
We're-
went my
we're
whole
dumb
life
here,
thinking
so.
I did a good British accent. I went my whole life thinking I could do a good British accent until I fucking actually started talking to people from the UK because there's so many different dialects that I'm like,
Yeah.
Okay, there's no way I could have done.
You
a
were
solid-
morphing like 18 of them together and some bastardized like yeah.
If you're in
What?
London, Jacob, all you have to do is go, "You all right, mate? You
You're
all right, mate?
mate.
You all right, mate?"
But I still want to get. I felt my accent always draws down under for.
Yeah.
At least it dips here and there, you know. But anyway,
And shake
that's
that
it.
Texas
Double-
drawl,
What?
Jacob.
This is what's called a
Can't-
Midwestern
can't
goodbye,
take that
and it's where you
Texas
say you're
drawl.
going to leave and you never do. So we're all
Yeah.
experiencing something from my part of the country. It's called the Midwestern goodbye, and you say bye like 10 times, and then you're like, oh, but wait, hold on, there's this other really cool story. And then
Yeah.
you're like,
See that?
oh, see,
Think about it. There's people who left because they're like, oh, they're signing off. Let's just go, and they missed a lot of really fun little anecdotal stuff. So
yeah, to learn a lot more about us.
You have
They
to
wanted-
know that on YouTube, when people say goodbye, there's like probably at least another 20 minutes, sometimes another 2 hours. So you have to know
Yeah,
that
that
by
has
now.
happened.
You have to be
That's
a veteran
happened on this
YouTube
show
watcher
itself.
to know.
Yeah.
It's like the post-credit scene in a movie.
fuck
Yeah.
it, y'all
Yeah.
trying to go
Oh,
another hour?
yeah,
No, I
dude.
can't. I
No.
can't.
Or the
I
outtakes.
can't. I can't.
This is
Yeah,
the
outtakes.
outtakes.
Oh, are we live? Oh.
Those are the
Anywho,
best. Those are the best moments ever. Oh my god.
best moments are
That-
shared
that
with
little-
the ones
that
you
little
enjoy
bit
it
of-
with.
that
And
little
I
bit of
enjoyed this.
fear.
Colin, don't stop me. Come on, man. That was
He's
great.
gonna transition.
I literally had a really good transition to an outro, Colin. You snatched it away like a young boy kicking what's his fuck in the back. But unlike
Didn't
that boy,
quite
you do
catch.
not have a lifetime ban on this channel, my friend. And everyone who listens to this, you are welcome to always listen. You are welcome to always hit that like, share this thing with people. Let's get this to 600, and I'll share a nice, funny, anecdotal story about my UK accent. I don't know. I don't want to call it like English accent because I don't know what the fuck it was. But I'll share a nice little story about that.
Share a
Big
story
ups.
in the accent.
Come on, you Spurs. Quiz.